Oh, yeah. Morning sounds. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Welcome. What kind of times do we live in, Poseidon? Cops have gotten so goddamn powerful, they will no longer allow kids to stab other kids. It is disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by the lovely people over at Just Meat It. JustMeatIt.ca is where you go to get high-quality meats without antibiotics, no performance-enhancing drugs, none of that stuff. Just high-quality meats. They're farmed in Quebec, so you're supporting local. You're getting healthy eats. JustMeatIt.ca. Get yourself some bison. Get yourself some elk. You know what? Get yourself some goddamn wild boar. And by that, I mean watch Poseidon shows on the Patreon. He just dropped a couple of gems this week. Annabelle, Elabette, and Inbel Poseidon were excellent episodes this week. If you don't want to go on the Patreon, you can catch them in audio versions only. They're available wherever audio podcasts are sold 1 week later. So last week's episodes are now up wherever the hell you get your podcasts. Poseidon can also be found on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ThePoseidon69. That's where he yells at kids. And ThePoseidon69 is handled everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, and I believe TikTok. Am I correct?
Yes, but I don't post much on TikTok. I have prepared a lot of videos that I think I'm going to release one shot on TikTok.
Okay. So you have a smear campaign ready on the TikToks?
No. Just videos of podcasts and stuff. Also, I might release older videos of us on TikTok too. Remember those videos?
From Instagram?
Yeah.
Do whatever the hell you want, Poseidon. That was too verbose for the morning. Let's go right now to our man in the South, our guy giving us the news, the host of the Backstage podcast, big episode dropping soon, and also one of the hosts of Just Us Dads, a podcast made for moms by dads. So ladies, check it out. The men are trying to tell you something, how to raise kids. I believe that's their motto. Very, very sexist podcast, but it's kind of what we need. It's a little shock that we need 2021. Let's give it up for the South Shore Zone, Jiggity, George Chandrizos.
What's going on, guys?
Bunch of loaded statements this morning, George. I'm trying to get everyone upset.
You know, I'm surprised this whole thing with a cop shooting in where was it, in Colorado or wherever the hell it was?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus is still making. I mean, there's so many people that came out against that. I mean, it's and we spoke about this on Wednesday. I mean, it's obvious what happened.
Yeah, but it's reactionary because this all started on Twitter, right? Like the backlash. Twitter's reactionary. You just you see something, you react, you join the mob, and you jump before any facts come out. So you have guys like LeBron James who tweeted a photo of the guy, the cop, and said, "You're next," and people are like, "What are you talking about? You mean because he saved the other girl that was about to get stabbed?" He's like, "No, because he shot someone." He's like, "Yeah, but look at the context, you know." So then he took it down because people got mad at him.
LeBron James.
Conclusion. You know, and I don't agree much with Ben Shapiro there, but I was watching one of he did a little segment.
Oh, also before you move on, because someone said about sacrificing. Also, Nancy Pelosi said the weird, crazy, racist things this week when she's like she likes to thank George Floyd for sacrificing himself. A sacrifice is a self-voluntary thing. The guy got killed, bro, and she's like, "Yeah, he did so," and everybody around her is like, you have their faces change. Like that's not the right word. We're not sacrificing black people, Nancy. What are you talking about? Like fucking crazy shit."
But I know I was watching Ben Shapiro, and he was saying that it's funny how the media is putting their own twist on this because NBC and I think even Fox News. When they reported this whole incident, they cut the clip short of the scene where you see the knife.
Yeah.
And when they played the 911 call, they cut it short and they didn't say that, "Hey, there's this girl here with a knife." They just said, "Oh, we need a police officer right here on the spot right away," and they cut the clip right there. It's horrible. I mean,
they're not news guys. They're not news, and you're imbeciles for not looking into things. You're an imbecile if you just jump on this. People are going to get killed over this nonsense.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is, man? Who actually does any research? People are just going to, whatever it's called.
What do you mean, who does? You're supposed... This is all... I didn't even...
I'm not talking about the media here. I'm talking about the general public. They're looking at the news, and they're not going to go and read up on...
Agreed, but right now, after a couple of years of this nonsense repeatedly happening...
Not a couple of years.
No, I mean, but the last 4 years, like, they'll take everything out of context. Clips, shootings, that. You'd assume that people have learned to... wait a bit. Like for the clip of the girl, I didn't even say I want to know what really happened. I was like, holy fuck, how did it, in my head I thought it was true. He just went and shot her, and I was like, how did it escalate to that? And then I saw the video and I was like, wait, what the that's not what the headline says. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine being a good cop all your life and you save someone's life. Well, we don't know if he's a good cop, but he does the right thing in this situation.
Well, the right thing in context of, I believe that's the protocol he did. He shot center mass. Now, I would have liked, because it's a 16-year-old girl, I would have liked for her to have a second chance. Yeah. But it wasn't in the cards for what was happening. This guy has a job. He was called there. He sees a woman with a knife. He did what he was supposed to do.
I don't know if it was the right call or the wrong call, but it was definitely a tough call.
It was a tough call, but here's the thing. What would have been if he had waited to stab the other girl and then shoot her so they're both dead? Or
I go back to some cops they should have rubber bullets available to them.
Well, right now, though, they didn't have rubber bullets. So in this timeline, didn't he do what he was told to do?
I don't know.
Like what he was trained to do. As far as I understand, that's what they said. They said he did.
He took a life, he saved a life.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's fucked up.
So anyways, I don't like the fact that a kid died, but it's not.
Is it a race thing?
It's not what the media was making out to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you cut your hair?
Like 2 weeks ago.
You're looking extra youthful.
I jumped out of the shower and came over here.
You're just looking so fluffy and shit. I want to reach out and just touch you.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you there, but it's not the first time.
We have a long history together.
People have been asking for years. They're like, are they smoking or are they gay?
Oh, so good.
The best commercial ever.
Oh, shit.
Poseidon, bring up that commercial,
Are they
Poseidon.
smoking or are they gay?
Bring up that commercial. This morning show's already gone off the rails.
Drop it on that beat.
Hold on.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, drop another beat. Let me promote Phil while you
promote me to what?
search.
I get to be manager, office manager. I'm getting promoted, George. It's happening.
Newly promoted to hairless anchor. Phil Balabanos, guys. Links are in the description. Check out Phil. He does many things. One of them is make podcasts. He's got a podcast every Sunday, almost every Sunday, every second Sunday, every third. Whenever he decides to podcast, he'll podcast and then put it up for someone.
Yeah.
So links are in the description, balabanos.com. Phil also is a professional filmmaker. He'll make a commercial for you. He'll make a commercial for your shitty business to make it look like a not so shitty business. Phil was the first person who made a nationwide commercial for Enron. And we all know how that went. Phil Balabanos. Links in the description. Hire him.
It was L. Ron Hubbard that I did the work for.
Poseidon, bring up that video.
Drop it on that beat, yo.
Okay, hold on, let me just prepare.
Yo, I'm not acting sus. I don't like sus.
What?
You know when they say people are acting sus? Poseidon says it all the time.
But
Is it like a Gen Z thing?
Yeah, he's influencing the
It's
masses.
such a strange word. Thank you, Cobra Kai. Hold on. Strike first. No mercy. All right, Poseidon, you want to give us context? Okay.
Are they smoking or are they gay? It's okay to smoke.
So stupid.
I mean,
So stupid.
I mean, if you're a conservative, anti-gay person.
That's not anti-gay.
No, I'm saying if you're an anti-gay person,
how
this
old
is
is this
very
commercial,
effective.
by the way?
It came out last week.
That's not an anti-gay commercial. That's
Are you serious?
No,
I thought it was like from the 80s.
That's from the 90s. But that's not an anti-gay commercial, guys. That's just a nosy Nelly commercial. They're just asking questions that they have no business knowing. Are they smoking? Or are they gay? Neither one is your business, sir.
What are they smoking? Each other?
It could be, but it's not. It's just a very nosy commercial. It was made by
By a Karen.
By a Karen. Yeah, that's all it is.
I just don't know if they're smoking or if they're gay. You know?
Well, why
so
can't
hard.
it be both?
Oh my goodness.
to be
Jesus
fair-
is crying right now.
To be fair,
Let's be fair. But let's
I
put
don't
the
think
camera
I
on you to be fair.
I never snuck around to smoke like that, so it could be perceived as they're gay.
So anybody who sneakily goes to the bathroom is gay?
I mean, two men getting really close to each other, gathering at each other in the eyes before let's go to the bathroom.
Yeah, they just don't have the same social skills we have.
Or actually, in my high school, it could be just a drug exchange.
There you go.
There you go. How
Smoking
come they
gay?
didn't say that? How come they didn't say smoking gay or
Because
drug
they're
dealing?
they're not taking into consideration the minority schools, basically.
It's just two white guys blowing each
It's
other.
two white guys, bro.
They are very white, right? They're like translucent white. Interesting. Oh, he really
We
liked that.
all skateboard around here.
Bro, where are my Vans? If you don't give me back my Vans, I'm gonna have to have sex with your ass.
All right, it's about time that we actually start the show. Mr. Chandrizos, what kind of news are you bringing us
George
from the
Chad.
mean streets of the South Shore?
We're gonna start off lightly, and I sent you guys this picture yesterday. The front page cover of the Journal de Montréal, the most read paper in Quebec. This
I mean, it's-
weird I don't know who the hell is making these decisions, but I sent the picture to Poseidon if you want to put it up. Basically, we know that there's the first variant case of the Indian variant here in Quebec. They published this fucking newspaper, and they have an old picture of Justin Trudeau with when he went the state visit in India, dressed in
Traditional garb.
Yeah.
in Indian traditional
Garbage.
whatever.
Oh, you said George. That's racist.
And I mean, wait, what does it say? Let me pull up the picture here.
It says the Indian variant has arrived.
Yeah, it has arrived, and then it says under, so Justin Trudeau, are you going to quickly cut ties now with India? I mean, this is horrible. This is the front page cover of the biggest newspaper here in Quebec.
George, can I say what I said yesterday?
George, I hate them. You know, I've publicly said I hate them. However, it's a great cover.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny.
And the joke is fine. My problem isn't with the joke. My problem is that it's a newspaper.
Yeah.
It's an actual like accredited newspaper. Yeah. If I shared that, people would be like, that's silly. Okay, Pantelis is fucking with Trudeau. Okay, but what boggles my mind is that it's a newspaper. That's what makes it ridiculous. Because if it was Mad TV, remember Mad had Mad Magazine?
Yeah.
You wouldn't give it a second thought. You'd laugh. You'd be like, I see what you're doing.
Isn't the Journal de Montréal basically the Mad Magazine of news?
It's turned into it. It has. But also, Justin Trudeau, quick to listen to them, banned passenger flights from India and Pakistan.
I know we've called for banning flights and stuff like from specific areas. It doesn't make sense. It's here. It's been in Vancouver forever.
No. That even worse is that he does it now a year later. When they were asking him to ban flights from China, he's like, that's silly. But when a newspaper makes fun of him, he's like, fuck everyone from India and Pakistan.
You actually just touched on something. Remember at the beginning of this, Trump kept calling it the China virus?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that every variant has been named by where it came from?
But it's not racist.
But it's not racist.
Yeah,
but it can't be called like this is the Indian variant.
Yeah. Of course, guys. It's all a game.
Ridiculous.
It's all a game. Everything goes back to By the way, everything is not racist. Just so you guys know, not everything in your life has to be about race. Calm your tits.
No, but it's a little inappropriate, especially after.
It's very inappropriate for a newspaper, but I get the joke.
The night before the cover came out, I posted the article that says it's here, the Indian variant is here, and I put Bollywood music on it. I mean, it's the same joke.
It's the same joke.
Premise.
Everyone's made this joke.
Theirs is better, though.
Theirs is better. Theirs was a good joke. I have no problem with the joke. What I'm saying is just weird. Like, because do you want us to take you serious as a newspaper, or do you want to fuck around like I do?
Can it be both? Gay or smoking?
No, it can be both. Because then when I fuck around, they come after me. Exactly. When we fuck around, when Mike fucks around, they come after us. Like, you can't make jokes like that. But you're making jokes like that. I'm all for everyone making jokes like that, but why does it change?
What if this isn't really a joke, but really high concept political satire?
But that's what a joke is.
I'm just trying to use words to hide it.
The problem isn't that. The problem also goes deeper. I mean, we saw how stupid people are, and everything they did to the Asian community with their businesses, and punching Asians on the street. You can't be doing these things. I mean, I get the joke; it's funny, and I actually laughed.
To me, the joke doesn't make fun of Indians. The joke is funny because it makes fun of Trudeau. Yeah,
it does make fun of Trudeau.
That's kind of why I like it.
It associates it with India and the fact that there's this variant that comes from India, and I mean, we just have to be careful because people are stupid now. I mean, like we just came out of this whole thing like the last couple of weeks with the Stop Asian Hate kind of thing movement, and you're putting this on your front page cover.
I do have a question though, George, for what you're saying, because you said they're saying that it comes from India. Is this a real thing, the Indian variant?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Well, I was actually going to get to that. It's not, it doesn't come from India, and
that's what I want to know.
We'll get to that later. But while we're on this cover,
because the way he said it seemed like it's not real, so I just want to know.
Okay. It doesn't come from India. We'll get to that later. But on this topic, just so we can keep it a little on the humor side, you guys saw the tweet that Sugar Sammy put out there.
Of course, but I saw his tweets. I liked them. I retweeted them.
So funny, man. I
honestly thought Lisée was dead. I had no idea he was still alive and in politics.
I don't even know who that guy is, but it is.
Jean-François Lisée basically was a longtime advisor at the Parti Québécois. He was, I think, the chief of staff of Jacques Parizeau, that famous premier that mocked the minorities and the rich when he lost the referendum in '95. He was elected.
Who are you talking about?
Jean-François Lisée.
He's the one who mocked them? No.
No, he's the one that replied.
Who Parizeau is.
Oh, Parizeau. Okay, yeah.
Basically, there's two things that happen.
Yeah.
Simon puts out a tweet saying, I know it's not easy to distinguish between KFC and PKP. One makes garbage, and the other one is a newspaper.
Yeah.
Referring to Pierre-Carl Pelado, the owner of Quebec Media.
No, I think he said one makes garbage and the other one sells chicken, no?
No, the other one's a restaurant.
Un vend la marche, right?
No, basically said one sells garbage, the other one's a newspaper.
Yeah, and then it was a newspaper, exactly. Yeah. And so Jean-François Lisée kind of takes that tweet and replies. So Jean-François Lisée basically was elected in 2014 with Pauline Marois. He was a minister, and then he ran. He took over the party, and he lost in 2018. He's a pretty, known figure here in Quebec. And he replied to him saying, well, okay, yeah, it is unacceptable. I agree with you. Nobody should do it. So what are you going to do now for work? Suggesting that that's exactly what he does.
Well, he elaborated. He also said, making fun of like ethnic people, whatever is.
Exactly.
I mean, it was for a politician, not a bad burn.
It was not a bad. It was
burn.
not a bad comeback, because that's what I'm saying is he was right in that context. Like, why are some jokes okay and not others? I believe the jokes are the joke is fine. What I'm saying is weird is context. To see it on a newspaper. Exactly. It feels weird.
It feels irresponsible.
Yeah.
Still funny. His reply to that was, well, I was actually thinking of running for politics in a separatist party where I can I can incorporate dumb fucking decisions, but you beat me to that.
Yeah. Because the thing, you get one punch in, but that's not going to knock out a comedian, especially when he'll come back at you.
But it makes the rebuttal from Sammy even better. That the initial response was not bad.
It was not bad.
That's what
it's
makes
just
the
that it
whole
was coming from
so
an
much
imbecile.
Better.
It was coming from an idiot.
If he had said, "You're stupid," I hate you, you're a comedian, it wouldn't have been as funny. Yeah. No, I liked it. It was a fun exchange. I hope they texted each other later and they're like, "You want to fuck or you want to smoke?"
Why would you hope that?
Because there was like a raw romance.
I feel like you had a Poseidon moment where you tried to. You did. That made no sense.
There was fire there. There was electricity.
You feeling the Poseidon vibes?
He can't feel Poseidon vibes.
But,
it's not even Poseidon.
So I didn't pay attention to what just happened.
Okay, George, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so moving on, like you said, I mean, the flights from India and Pakistan have been suspended as of today, basically. So all
but you
flights,
said it's not from India.
Where is it originally from, George?
No. I'm talking about the flights have been canceled. We'll talk about the variant in a second. So
I feel like we're already talking about the variant. I feel like this is the time to talk about the variant. But go on,
George. Just tell us.
So just to let you guys know, so all the flights, like you said, are suspended.
Direct
all the flights from India and Pakistan, at least for the next 30 days.
George specified.
It obviously affects only the passenger flights. And with respect though to connecting flights, this is what doesn't make sense. It's like as if Canada is saying, look, don't come here if you're because it says if you're planning to connect from another through another country, the passengers need to have a negative COVID result before boarding the connecting flight to Canada.
Okay,
which is impossible. Now. How do you leave from Canada, connect, like for example in London, and have the time to go run a test and get your results before boarding that plane? So anyway. That doesn't make any sense.
I see you're saying they're making it difficult, but
I mean, if their goal is to keep people from India coming into Canada, but they can't ban all flights, I mean that impossible. That makes sense. That they've created a Kobayashi Maru.
But they kind of say it indirectly. So the transport minister came out and reiterated the importance, obviously, to not stigmatize any particular country because of what's happening with the variant cases, and especially since the variant didn't originate in India. It's just very, very present there. It's been present since the end of last year.
Yeah.
So the variant is in Quebec. We have our first case. It's in the Mauricie region.
Crazy that it's out in the middle
it
of
has a
nowhere.
very particular mutation. It's a double mutation, basically. It's a variant that combines a mutation found in the South African and Brazilian variant, but also
it knows how to
found in the Californian variant.
What?
So
There's a California variant?
Whoa! So it's voting stupidly too. God damn, this is a dangerous variant.
So that's why it didn't really originate from there. I mean, it carries mutations that have already existed. For some reason, it's just very present in India.
For some reason.
What the fuck does that mean, bro? Wait, hold on. What does that mean, George? This feels like we're grasping at straws. So where is it very present right now? India?
That's where it's the most present.
Okay, so then I don't give a fuck where it started. If that is the major hot zone, then it would make sense that they would stop the flights.
It makes sense to stop the flights. I'm talking about identifying it as the Indian variant.
So you want to call the Brazilian, South African, and what was the other one you added? Californian variant?
Variant, yeah, exactly. And
let's call it the free love variant.
Yeah, it's called stand-up comedy. Many of us sit down while we're doing it on stage.
I've never seen that except for fat people.
What do you mean? Not a lot of people. Fucking even Chappelle sits down.
Not the whole time.
Most of the time, actually.
Not the whole time. They don't wheel.
They
They don't wheel him out. Come on.
You fucking ableist over here.
What's
Anyway,
an ableist?
I don't know. I think I got the word wrong.
The authorities over here, they're
did.
taking the variant very seriously
No,
because they've noticed that it
meant to
is
say
less
enabler.
receptive to the vaccine. The person that was tested positive to this variant 2 weeks ago here
Justin
in Quebec
Trudeau.
was also vaccinated 2 months ago.
That's
So
fun.
from
Wait, is the
from
person
government-
sick, George?
What'd you say?
Are they sick or they just have it?
No, they tested positive. I don't think they're sick with it.
The vaccine can't
fine.
stop you from testing positive.
No, but that's what I'm asking. Are they sick? Is the vaccine protecting them from this double, triple mutation? If that's the case, then who
Because
cares?
apparently the person is doing well. It's
Okay.
just, just to let everyone know that apparently you can still get COVID-19 even though you're vaccinated.
That's not news, George.
vaccine.
That's not news.
That's not news.
You can always. I thought you can always get it, or I don't know what the fuck.
No, you can get it even if you're fully vaccinated.
But you
the
shouldn't-
difference is you have no symptoms.
Yeah, you shouldn't know about it basically.
because you're immune. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm
Well, they
already
clearly-
immune.
Well, they clearly knew
being
about it because they
me
went to the
from
hospital,
Mars.
which is why they got tested, and they found out that it existed. So it's not as if the person was sitting home not knowing, maybe I have it, maybe I don't.
So he had
doesn't
some
really matter.
symptoms.
So they probably ended up in the hospital at some point. So
I mean,
for
look,
sure
it's
there
not
was
the
some symptoms.
best. Look, the vaccine is new. The vaccines are all new, like we said. They're not even FDA approved. So there's gonna be some fuckery.
They have
They're not.
emergency approval.
They're which is
Not the same, but
not the
same.
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 But so some people are gonna get hurt because of it. But I mean, don't expect if you do get the vaccine that it's you can't catch it. You can't have. You could still get fucked over. You never know.
Yeah.
Just like how some people got it twice.
Yeah, some people did get it twice.
Yeah. So
And,
don't believe
I
the
read
magic
yesterday-
pill thing and all that. Like fucking be cautious.
I read yesterday that, and I don't know how they calculate this, so I'm not going to even pretend like I believe it, or don't believe it for that matter, that this new variant, which isn't actually new, it's a year old, is 50%, the vaccines, the mRNA vaccines specifically, are 50% less effective at protecting you from it,
Okay.
which is
From getting it or from
being sick.
From being sick, eh?
50%. Now, how do you calculate that? I don't really know how they do that. I don't even understand fully how they calculate the effectiveness. It's not like they're giving people COVID who have been vaccinated. They're just leaving them live their lives and checking in 3 months later. So who knows?
Yeah.
I
don't
hope
know, man.
that
There's a lot of
that's not
confusion.
true, because they said the same thing about South Africa and UK, but now they're saying that the vaccines cover it. So
The other thing we found out is that, from the government's information, is that there were 35 flights that came in from India with at least one confirmed case on board. So in the last 2 weeks, basically.
India's a dense place. Like, it's not
So
hard to
who
believe
knows?
that it's
Who
running
knows
around.
what's going to happen? Hopefully, I don't know. We're able to maintain
So I
this.
have a question about this variant. Is it because you said it's a double mutation, but has it been proven to be more lethal?
There isn't that much information. The only thing that I read was that it's less. What do you call it? It's less receptive to the vaccine. So I don't know exactly
because
what
if it's
data
not
they
more
have.
because if it's not more lethal, because we also have to be careful with propaganda, like because they love every bit of news that they could spin to scare the shit out of us and get us worried. They love doing it, so we have to be careful with that. Like if it's because they're making it seem like it's more lethal. The mutated variant is, and you gotta what? But if it's not more
Just think of
lethal,
the headline: a double mutant.
yeah, that's why. Let's just be careful because again, they try to scare the shit out of
There's
you.
multiple mutations that happen.
Oh
in
shit, Poseidon's freaking the fuck out.
What do you find? Either boobs or something scary.
What's the matter?
No.
Is it boobs?
You guys keep doing the show. I found something interesting that I can bring up
So
afterwards.
bring it up
Okay.
now.
Br-
I mean, now.
no,
now
don't bring it
killed
up
the
now,
flow.
but
Because
like
you guys are mid conversation.
yeah,
Not
we'll,
anymore, we're
we'll,
not.
no, we'll bring it up later. But George,
Is it more lethal?
Is it more lethal? We don't know.
We don't know.
I haven't read anything about that. The only thing I read was that it seems as though the
More
vaccine
contagious.
doesn't really help. I mean, you can still get it, and I'm guessing there are symptoms because, like we said before, the lady that got it, or I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
she
if
went
it's
to the
a lady,
hospital.
but the person, yeah. So, anyways, speaking of vaccinations, today our Right Honorable Prime Minister, along with his wife, are getting vaccinated around noontime. And they're getting the AstraZeneca vaccine. So there you have it. Our prime minister will be taking the shot. So we'll see how that affects the population and how that kind of leads people to go and get vaccinated. So that's a very quick little piece of news for you
You
guys.
okay, George?
George is not happy with this. All right,
George
George has
seems
a
sleepy.
family. George is scared of the
Of
viruses.
the Indians.
No.
No,
We're
man.
cool. We know we're cool with Indians.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I like Indians.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
Indians too.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about this
funny.
smear
It's
campaign.
funny. Yeah, because like as soon as this thing came out, I messaged one of the leaders in the Indian community that I used to work with there in Park X and in general, the greater Montreal area. And he's like, he replied, he goes, "This better not fucking degenerate because our people don't take things lightly."
Yeah, so if anybody tries to attack Indians, bro, we're gonna help them, bro. We love our Park X Indians, bro.
I mean,
Oh, man.
they're at a
Sugar
disadvantage.
Sammy's gonna have to get off the couch. Fucking come.
But he's all jacked up now, right?
Yeah, Sugar Sammy will kill someone, bro.
I saw his tweet yesterday before the article, or the day before, where he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta cancel my trip to Shawinigan, I guess."
Fucking funny.
Shawinigan. Shawinigan.
That's
Honestly,
fucking-
Quebec has the greatest place names. It really does.
Anyway, all this to say, George, don't believe the hype. Is that what you're trying to tell us? Don't believe the media.
I don't
Don't
think
get
that's what he's trying
scared.
to
That's
tell
what
us.
I'm
I
telling
don't
people.
know. I mean, this is still very new. We'll see. I guess the news that are going to be coming out in the next couple of days are all going to be around this new variant. Hopefully, it won't. We'll see. I don't know. But like Phil said, I mean, it's
What
not
is-
the first time we see this in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
In BC, they have, I think, over 30 or 40 cases. This is just the first time we get it here in Quebec. So I'm not sure. I'm probably assuming that they're looking at what BC is doing and how it's evolving over there.
I saw an article this morning, George. Nothing to do with this, but I just want to know how you feel about it. Quick. They're saying that math is racist.
How does math racist?
Yeah, there's a
Like
there's a
black
no there's a professor.
on.
Yeah, pull it up, Poseidon. Who's trying to get it out of the curriculum in the States? They go, this is insane. Math is racist. These ethnic kids can't understand math because it's racist. Which
Can math be racist?
yeah, which makes me
No
think
way.
that is the most racist statement ever. But math is the complete opposite of racist. Like these are
But can I have
objective
some-
things.
Can I get some more here? Like,
Yeah,
what-
he's gonna give it to
okay.
us.
Oh, is he?
So yeah,
George
things-
laughs at the strangest jokes.
I like George.
Only
But,
to you, Phil.
yeah,
Only for you.
yeah, I'll leave. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's coming. But yeah,
Already, that was fast.
it's just so stupid. Like I saw this and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Now
You're
that
very tight. That's why.
like not everything. What the fuck?
He's
What?
You're complimenting him, but you're making yourself look creepy.
no, he's telling me that
I
I'm.
don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what the fuck.
that's a
happens when-
compliment.
I don't know what the fuck happens when
no.
Phil is in studio. Yeah, the other day, you guys were talking about eating ass. Fucking now.
I
the other
wasn't
guy's
here for that
tight.
one.
Yeah, you were. You're the one who brought it up. You told him he's been eating good ass.
Oh yeah, I didn't say good.
I didn't say it felt good. I said it was awkward, but
Reality
he
is
was
objective.
committed.
How could I know that?
No. The latest ass I ate was very good. It was pristine.
Okay. Well,
Okay, let's go. What do you
George's wife barges in. What's all this you're talking about?
yeah. So apparently, yeah, they're saying math it's not
I need
everything.
to know more.
Everyone's jumping on this bandwagon that everything is against you. Everything is racist. God damn, this is
Can I defer to a
This is a slippery
professional?
slope.
It's in Seattle, apparently.
Of
Oh,
course
that's
it's in
shocking.
Seattle.
That's shocking. The son in Seattle is also racist.
Hold on.
Why is
rising
it not called the daughter? Fucking idiots.
Zing.
Fucking dummies
I
down
feel
there.
triggered.
You just got it.
I like it.
The son. It's the fucking patriarchy because it lights everything up. It could be called the daughter with O's.
Oh, he's like a fucking pig. I love it.
William
He looks,
He does snort, yeah.
he looks extra narcos today.
I like him.
For a very
Tracksuit.
specific reason.
And the gold watch.
Oh, he's not. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
right,
true.
yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
shoot later.
You
Yeah.
have a role, bro.
You gotta roll the
Bro.
play.
Man, I take these things seriously.
You know what's funny? He described this outfit to me yesterday as what he was gonna wear.
Yeah.
And I processed it. We had a conversation about it. And then I saw him today, and I was just like, oh, Poseidon's just dressed as Poseidon.
Yeah, it is. It does look like you, yeah.
Like, it's
You're
not
just
even a
listening to
character.
yourself.
He's like,
Very
bro, I'm in
weird.
character.
Anyway, so what's this racist math stuff?
Yeah.
Hold on, because now you keep making me lose my train of thought.
That's easy.
It's not coming out of your thoughts. There's an article.
Here, I'll bring it up for you. You'll read it.
I don't wanna read it. I'm looking at you.
I'm a slow reader, bro.
Like a,
Oh,
like
that
a
is
woman in the
true.
40s.
All right,
Let's
Phil,
know-
let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's see.
Why the fuck is this fucking thing?
It's gonna force you to pay for it. Go up.
Is Seattle really teaching that math is sign up for education? What happened just now?
Look at my balls is what happened.
Conversations about identity and race in Seattle. Why do parents start to see ideas for math lessons that go far beyond numbers and into questions of identity? Jesus Christ, I hate Seattle.
What the?
These and other questions erupted on Twitter last week shortly after Seattle Public School released a draft of new learning objectives that integrate ethnic studies into math. What does that mean? And
If you
after
have
conservative
6
news outlet
Asians-
began berating the district, Seattle schools are now in the process of developing ethnic studies frameworks for different subjects, including social studies and arts. And why math?
wait.
Shouldn't you keep identity out of
Hold on,
math?
Let's see the draft.
This
Oh,
seems
no, this
pretty
is not-
dense.
K-12 math ethnic studies.
Well, go back to that other
Jesus
page a second, Poseidon. Go back.
Christ.
Go back. So here it says, where is it? In a U.S. history class, for example, histories of oppression and civilization, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Wayne, Professor. I didn't read the whole thing. That's why I wanted to see what it said.
In Seattle, look,
So
in
what's
math,
that?
lessons
Finland?
are more theoretical. Seattle's recently released proposal includes questions like, where does power and oppression show up in our math experiences? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
How is math manipulated
I'm
to
gonna go
allow
hide out in a
inequality?
fucking cave, bro.
Math was manipulated to allow inequality. They're saying math was. This is insane.
Are
You
they
know what
referring to lying with
Oh, this is-
statistics?
this
you know what the
insanity.
next level of this is? This is the next level of this. Is they're like, what are you? Greek. All right. So you have 2 souvlaki sticks. And we
insanity,
give you
bro.
another 3 souvlaki sticks. How many souvlaki? That's the next step to
No,
this.
bro, but
this is crazy.
This is insanity, bro.
I don't think
We're on the wrong timeline.
Yeah.
We're on the wrong timeline.
I'm trying
Something
to play
happened.
devil's advocate.
Teach
to
kids how to
understand.
fucking count and shut the fuck up.
This
God
is very
damn.
upsetting.
Look, they lie with statistics all the time. So if I thought for a second they were teaching them the statistics are not infallible,
That's not what they're saying.
that's not what they're saying. But it seems like they're using that premise.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that premise. That's your.
I'm trying to figure
projecting.
out. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what they're talking about.
No,
they're
it's-
saying the
it's
white man lies
insanity.
to you with numbers.
Holy shit.
It's pretty fucked up. George is really.
Shit.
Man, that is.
Wasn't math initially a Greek and Arabic invention?
I don't
No,
think
it wasn't Arabic.
it
By
wasn't
the
a
way,
Greek
that's
invention.
by the way, I love what he just
It's
said
random,
there.
yeah.
Just because it's so random, he took bits of different information he's heard and put them together. No, the numbers that we use,
Yeah?
the numbers that we use
Are Arabic.
Are Arabic.
The characters.
Yeah. Arabs didn't exist when like the mathematical equations were starting.
Ah.
But the numbers that we use now,
I mean, the ancient Egyptians had math. Obviously,
They're
they
not
built
Arabs.
the pyramids. No. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like math predates. even
yeah,
Greek
math
civilization.
is not an invention. Math is a discovery.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Greeks didn't invent.
Wow.
Greeks didn't invent that 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
We just had time to sit there and be like, yo, let's count the circumference of that.
Yeah.
Why? What else am I gonna do, bro? I cleaned the toga. Let's fucking do this. That's why. It's because you had time on their hands to do it. But it's discoveries. Because I always hear that when they go the invention of math. Well, there's the invention of like the way we'll apply things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like use this method, it's shorter. You know, like how we divide things.
Yeah.
But like math, the equations, they're always there. It's in the universe.
Like
It's,
it's always been there.
yeah,
We
it doesn't
just-
matter what you call it. This is 2 bottles. Even if you call this gorklak, you're still saying the same thing. You know,
It's like apples from a tree, right?
Explain.
You know-
I know that you thought I was going to cut you off, so you wouldn't have time to make yourself look stupid. But explain what you're saying.
The apple was always there. You know what I mean? You didn't invent the apple.
No, it's okay.
You
Poseidon.
discovered it and you picked it.
Oh God,
Okay. Moving on.
you could plant
Moving
an
on.
apple tree.
Yeah, no, but
Michelle
you didn't
Obama.
invent the
Michelle
apple tree.
Obama in the chat
Yeah, you
says
did.
if
No, you
we can
discovered
talk
the
about,
seeds.
if we can talk about the next federal election, are they going to
He's still
say if
trying.
it will happen? I think there's going to be another federal election this year. There was a new budget that was tabled. When was it? Last week, or this week? Monday. I
Did
can't
you see
remember.
your boy Polyev in? This thing came up in my Twitter feed, dude, and it made me die of laughter. You know your boy Trudeau?
Yeah.
He was like, and why haven't they been talking? This is real words. And why aren't you guys mentioning my budget? Is it because it's so good? And he sat down like a high school girl. And the guy
What?
gets up, he goes, because you didn't mention any tangible things, and you fucking idiot. That's why we got nothing to discuss. And then everybody starts laughing.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, what is this? This is a high school thing. What is going on? Try to find that. It's the funniest thing. He's like, is it because my budget is so good? Like he thinks
Well,
he's
look,
in a movie.
I was following a little bit the parliament this week, and there were some hints of certain parties not supporting the budget, and the Liberals automatically came out and said, well, look, if you don't support the budget, it'll be a question of supporting the government, so it will fall and we'll go to elections. So they keep using that card, right? If you don't support this, it'll mean that it's a vote of confidence. Which means that if we don't have the support for the budget, we go to elections. So they keep pushing that stupid card. I don't think anyone wants to go to have an election now during the pandemic, and they are taking advantage of that, and they're just forcing it down the opposition's faces. You know, it's like, well, look, if you're not going to vote for it, it will take it as a vote of confidence and call an election. Just
that's what we
ramming
need,
that
right?
budget down their throats. You know.
But isn't an election what we need?
I'm convinced that there's going to be an election around summertime. I don't know.
I don't know
Is
how to
it the
find
right
this.
time? Is it the? But again, I mean, look, there's other countries in the world that have had elections now during the pandemic. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Government still needs to function. We still need to go forward. We can't pause everything. So we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. I don't know. But I would be really shocked if there's no election this year federally. It would really, really shock me. Anyway,
I also saw that this morning. I don't know where the fuck I saw it too. That member of parliament, she thought that her Zoom mic was off, and for some reason, like it was done, and then she didn't know that they could still hear her, and she's like, "Yeah, well, they're talking shit to me. I make $250K a year. How much I make now? $250K." And then the guy's like, "I would like to remind the people that they should turn off their mics."
First of all, they don't make $250K.
By the way, I don't know how to find this.
That's what she said. I'm telling you what she said on the video.
I know, but they don't. Federal, was she in opposition or in the government?
I have no fucking clue. I've never seen this woman before in my life.
In any case, even if you're in the government, I think the ministers at the federal level, they make around, I don't know, 160, 170, around there. It's less than 200 for sure.
I don't know how to find the.
I'm sure I'm gonna find it for you. I'm gonna find it. No, you don't stop the show, Poseidon. I'm saying I'll find it for you.
What are you looking for?
I'm finding that video of Trudeau in.
Oh no,
okay.
George, keep going.
George, keep going. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Poseidon's a
in the
retard.
meantime, let me
how's that my
let's
fault?
go over down
stop talking.
south of the border. There's a climate summit that has been organized by the U.S. It started yesterday. It's going to end today, so it's for 2 days. So they're hosting that. It's a virtual climate summit. You have dozens of world leaders that have taken part. Some major CEOs of big corporations, and even Pope Francis actually made an appearance yesterday. Of course, it doesn't come as a surprise. We know that during the campaign, President Biden was talking about re-entering the Paris Accord, so he's taking action, and he brought the U.S. back to the Accord, and he organized this climate summit to get some new pledges and commitments from some of the world's biggest polluters. I took down some key takeaways from what happened yesterday. Basically, with respect to the U.S., they set new expectations. They pledged to halve the emissions by 2030 from the 2005 levels. So that's basically almost doubling the last pledge that was made from former President Barack Obama. They also intend to double its annual public climate finance to developing countries all over the world by 2024, compared with whatever the average was under Obama between 2013 and 2016. 2013 and 2016.
What does that mean for us?
I don't think it means anything for us. It's developing countries, so they want to have money invested in green technologies and that sort of thing in developing countries. Surprisingly, China, sorry about that. China also pledged to phasing out their coal. They want to cancel the use of coal over the 2026 and 2030 period. It's part of an effort to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Just remind you that last year, the president of China also said that they would aim to become carbon neutral by 2060. So this is huge for China. They're the number one producer of gas emissions in the world.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. South Korea also made some pledges. The surprising thing about this whole event
is
was
China
Brazil.
part of this Paris Climate Accord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
China is part of
What
the-
have they committed to then?
Coal.
Well, in this particular, I can't remember what they had committed to at the Paris Accord, but now, unless they weren't, and the China came in now, but it surprised me. I think they were part of the Paris Accord. Their big commitment right now is to cancel the use of coal, which is huge for China. So I mean, there's huge, very ambitious commitments made. South Korea made some. Brazil, I was shocked. Brazil appeared to have shifted its position on environmental protection. They pledged that it would reach the climate neutrality by 2050. That's 10 years earlier than what they had previously pledged. Their president, Bolsonaro, or whatever the hell his name is, he repeated his promise that he made last week on ending illegal deforestation by 2030. So that's huge. This guy really didn't care about the environment a couple of years ago. It made international headlines, and now it seems that he's backtracking on that, which is a good thing. Vladimir Putin came out punching. This guy is like, we're pledging that Russia will drop its gas emissions lower than the European Union levels over the next 30 years. This guy is just like, we're raising the bar. The European Union, it was a last-minute urgent resolution in just to make it to this summit. They pledged to cut down their gas emissions by at least 55% until 2030 from the previous levels that they were in 1990. There were other countries like the UK, the Japan. They also promised very ambitious plans. As for Canada, they increased whatever it was from the last commitment. So Justin Trudeau said that they were going to drop our emissions anywhere between 40 to 45% until 2030.
But here's the thing: are there any plans? Because I don't know if people who like the climate and who doesn't like the climate are aware of this. You guys notice that every couple of years they keep saying we're going to reduce by this, we're going to reduce by, and they'll raise taxes, but there's never any tangible plan of how they're going to reduce it. You ever notice that shit? For example, what are you going to do? There's going to be more people, a bigger population using the same factories, the same type of energy. You're going to produce more energy. You get it? So you're going to have more emissions. Shouldn't they be talking about going, whatever they can, solar or for the most part, uranium using...
Well, there you have it. Like most of these governments now are going to be spending, billions of dollars on the development of newer, greener technologies on replacing whatever exists. Now, I don't know. I don't understand these things very well. I mean, I don't know how they measure these things to begin with, and I don't know how they can even establish these goals, how to track them, what kind of plan you're going to put down in terms of your development and of your green technologies. I, for one, loved the plan that the Quebec had put in place in 2014, which was to have a carbon market. So for and they had promoted that whole thing all the way from Quebec to California was this huge corridor where companies and big corporations that were that were involved in gas emissions, it was like a stock market, but for carbon emissions. So it's like Quebec had established a cap past which you could not pass in terms of your gas emissions. If you wanted more, you would buy whatever. So
like a data plan, overages.
Yeah, you could buy
That's
quote unquote
stupid,
the
George.
shares of another. No, they could trade. It was pretty cool because everything, there was a plateau. You knew that you could not go above it, and it was an interesting collaboration between all these provinces and U.S. states, and it kept everything kind of under control. It was, I guess, easier to monitor. Now I have no idea how these things work. I mean, Justin Trudeau's carbon tax.
We want uranium. We don't want taxes. We want uranium. We don't want taxes.
I want time travel.
Also, just an interesting thing on Google, when you Google the Paris Climate Accord, it says including China and the United States, the countries with the first and second largest CO2 emissions.
Where's India?
I don't exactly. That's the thing. They're putting the United States as the second largest CO2.
That's in the Paris Climate Accord or in the world.
No.
No. It's in the world. Number one is China. Number two is US. I'm guessing India should be up there somewhere.
You're right. Sorry,
in the Paris Climate Agreement.
Yeah. So that means India isn't in the.
Okay, so who are the top ones in the world? Not that are the top in the world that are in the agreement. Who are the actual CO2
top
emitters?
CO2 emitters.
It's China. U.S. is 2. India is 3.
And then who's after India?
Russia, Japan.
Okay, so then those guys, Japan.
Oh
yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, look, the countries that made all these commitments right now, they are some of the top producers of gas emissions, and they're also contributing to over half 50% of the world's economy. So
that's what I'm asking is, what are the promises that India and China, and I guess in this case, because we should go for Japan, have made?
Apparently,
Japan is the only one I trust because Japan could go nuclear, so they could reduce emissions. But the other guys, I don't know.
Japan is fucking.
How's Mexico only 1%?
What do you mean? How's it 1%?
They're not counting anything.
What do you mean 1%?
Like they pollute a lot.
How do you?
1%.
No, CO2 emissions and what do you mean they pollute a lot? What does that mean?
Like they litter.
Oh, CO2 emissions are from what exactly?
Do you think that Mexicans walk around throwing stuff in the streets?
No, that's not
What do you mean they
think.
pollute a
That's
lot?
not what
I don't
think at all.
get.
No, but they have a lot of people. They have a lot of cars.
It's not just cars. It's also
Yeah,
manufacturing.
it's not. It's mostly manufacturing. It's not
Yeah,
cars
they
that's
have a lot of
causing this.
manufacturing
both.
also.
It's no. Look at the countries that are at the top of the list. They're manufacturing.
US is second.
Yeah, they're because they're the manufacturing hubs of the planet. That's why. Because this shit's on.
It's fossil fuel. CO2 is primarily measured by how much fossil fuel they're putting out, like burning.
Ah.
I mean, cars do burn fossil fuel.
Really?
Sure.
So the U.S. Produces more than India?
Anyways,
Well, anyways, bro. Look, everyone here has a car, and there's still a lot of
You know,
factories.
random story. This morning, my daughter's. It's Earth Day, right? Like it was Earth Day this month.
Yeah, it's Earth Day every day, unless you're an imbecile.
Yeah. So they were learning about like recycling, and she's 4.5, right? We're getting in the car, and all of a sudden she goes, "We shouldn't take the car." I'm like, "Why not?" Like I'm already like I'm here with her. I just want to get out of the house
Yeah.
because it's killing the Earth. I go, "What?"
Who told her that?
School.
Take her out of that school.
I go, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Because it burns gas and gas is bad." I go, "Listen, we're not walking to school. Get in the car." She's like, "But we should take my bicycle." I go, "No. That's not what they told you about. You're misunderstanding." And then I look at her. I go, "Look, there's like 1 billion people in China driving right now. We're not going to make a difference. Just get in the car before." Like, come on, Captain Planet, let's go. Like
the
meltdown,
father
man,
lesson.
crying.
It's funny how they repeat these things because my daughter too came back and she had like a little yogurt, those little Yopale.
She was looking for the symbol, right?
Yeah, and she's like, "Okay, we gotta wash this now and put it in the recycling bin." I'm like, "Find a bin and put it in there. We don't have a recycling bin at home." It's like,
don't?
I don't know. Put it wherever you want. Call it a recycling bin.
That's
You
funny.
know, it's cute. It's cute.
It's cute, yeah. But like,
This is
she's
hilarious.
like, "You didn't wash up.
You
the
want to
ketchup
recycle?
bottle.
Very cute, baby.
My generation kill planet. You too bad."
It's
Okay,
not-
let me
well,
talk to you guys
I've
before I
watched a
go.
documentary of where the recycling stuff goes to.
Back to the trash.
Yeah, back to the same place.
Yes. and I can attest to this. I worked as a
Cleaner, yeah.
Yeah,
We
cleaner.
remember this.
And when I asked where do I put the which
Where does all the recycling stuff go to?
Yeah,
And
you
they're
know.
like, "Are you stupid? The same place. Everyone knows that."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what?
In my building, we have 2 chutes. One used to be trash. One used to be recycling. They both led to the same place.
Yeah.
So what are we even doing, bro?
It either leads to the same place because there's a big business around it.
Yeah.
It either leads to the same place at the source, or it leads to the same place at like they'll take them. The recycling trucks will come, but they won't actually recycle.
If you want
most
to
of the stuff.
actually recycle, just reuse the stuff that's reusable.
Yeah, buy stuff
like
that you
my
can
grandmother
reuse. Yeah.
did. Like, you know how many Liberté yogurt things she has in her pantry?
She used them for other stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's
And
recycling.
composting, yeah, composting makes sense.
But
if
we're
you have
that
a garden.
generation of like
The government told me it's okay. I'll
no
do it this way.
of instant gratification. So we'll tweet something and we'll be like, "Racism is over," for I have tweeted, and then walk away. You'll throw something in recycling, the planet is
It's
safe.
safe.
Yeah. We're just a dumb generation, anyways.
Yeah, we are dumb.
Okay.
Captain
I want to talk to you guys about
Planet,
the
he's a
notwithstanding
hero.
clause. I mean, just to, as a reference point, last episode we spoke about how Premier Legault here has used the notwithstanding clause for his Bill 21, which is a law.
I heard he
that
used it at home too, and his wife didn't appreciate it.
Okay.
She's like, "You have to clean up. I'm using the notwithstanding clause. Come on."
No, but basically, Bill 21, it's,
Fail.
like, just to remind everyone,
I
it's banning the use of religious symbols from being worn by persons of authority, like teachers, nurses,
Authority.
judges, police officers, etc. And he's planning on appealing to the Superior Court for that decision that came out on Tuesday, basically applying exceptions to his bill, for example, the English School Commission and the elected officials. So that's happening on the side. But with respect to the notwithstanding clause, yesterday, while being questioned, he said that he would have no problem using that notwithstanding clause again with respect to the amendments that his government is making to Bill 101. So that's basically the French language charter. So for those wondering, what this notwithstanding clause, basically it's a clause that allows provincial governments to override basic freedoms that are guaranteed by the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
That's crazy.
Under the condition that it's meant to protect our collective rights. Okay.
But that, hold on. This is what wording is very important. You don't find it a bit of an oxymoron for somebody to tell you we have the right to block your rights and freedoms if it helps your rights?
Yes. That is
You guys don't
ridiculous.
think that's a ridiculous statement?
Yeah, but yes and no. I mean, look, because when you're talking about the French language, and by the way, guys, just to remind everyone, it's not the first time that Quebec would be invoking the notwithstanding clause for the French language. It was invoked also by Robert Bourassa in 1985 to override a Supreme Court of Canada ruling that declared that parts of the charter of the French language was unconstitutional. So he used that, and back then it was a whole thing. A lot of Anglophone ministers resigned, his caucus, whatever. It was a whole thing.
George.
But the argument back then, just to answer your question, was that based on the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, you have English and French that are recognized as official languages.
Correct.
And they thought that creating these language laws in Quebec was unconstitutional for the English-speaking communities over here. So it's a fine line, because you're thinking, well, no, we're protecting our collective rights as francophones here in Quebec, and that's why we're...
Well, no, but why don't we just, since there's two official languages, and why aren't we just pushing for both languages so that everybody knows both, so that Quebecers here, when they grow up, they can go wherever the fuck they want. They can make business international. This is so stupid.
It's not going to happen that across Canada.
I don't care. Look, the rest of Canada, I can't change right now. Like the rest of Canada, whatever. You don't want to learn French. You don't want to. It's bad for you not learning. It's to your disadvantage to not learn another language. You want to not learn a language, that's up to you. But in Quebec, man, they should be fucking perfectly bilingual at the very least. When students here finish school, they should have the opportunity to be able to create an international business. They shouldn't try to stick them here. You get what I'm saying? They should want to expand the culture so that a Quebecer can go to California, go to Texas, go to India, go to whatever, and then share. Yeah, I'm from Quebec. This is what you know what I mean, and be international, not close them in like they're villagers.
I have
it's
a plan.
Crazy, man.
It's a really weird mentality.
I have a plan.
The crazy thing. Sorry, Poseidon.
And they work hard too. I already told you guys this. They work hard too. A lot of people come here to set up whether it's video game labs or a lot of technology stuff like software programming. Because we have intelligent students here. The Quebecers work hard. They're smart. So for you to limit them, it's crazy to me, bro. It's fucking crazy to me. Like you hold them down.
Because the other thing is the other strange thing about this whole situation is that, and some organizations were already quick to react. I'm thinking of the Quebec Community Groups Network. Basically, it's an umbrella group of English community groups. They came out and they tweeted, hold on, let me pick it up here somewhere. Yeah. So they said that this is a cause for concern. Does this mean that this government will does this mean that what this government will propose is likely to contravene our constitutional rights? If you're already saying that we will most likely invoke the notwithstanding clause, it's as if you know already that whatever you're about to propose is going to go against the Charter of Rights, right?
What is the notwithstanding clause in French, George?
I have a plan for the French language.
And by the way, just because of that statement of if we're bilingual, I'm pretty sure that in less than 10 years everyone's going to speak English. First of all, that's a very bad faith in the culture. I still speak Greek fluently. I'm not even in Greece, okay, and I'm here.
So do I.
And I live
3 generations removed.
And he's 3 generations removed. All over the world, people speak different languages. Okay, just because you learn another one doesn't mean that you have to take another one out.
See,
my girlfriend speaks 5 languages. 5. Okay, 5. So that is complete. We've already been through this, and
that's so cool. I didn't know she spoke 5 languages.
She does. So it's not. That's a crazy fanatical and with no scientific substance type of debate. Because in Greece, from when they're young now, so I go to Greece, right? And they're speaking, these kids, they're teaching them because it's a tourist country, right? There's just like here, it's a tourist type of city, let's say, for Montreal. German, Italian, French, English.
And now Mandarin.
And they're trying to teach them Chinese. And the culture is still intact. The language is it's crazy to say things like that. These aren't things that you're going to take to replace. These are things you're taking to add, so you have extra tools in your belt.
A culture is a living, breathing organism.
Yeah, you
like
teach.
It grows.
If kids in Abitibi learn English just as well as French and they're able to speak it, they're not going to, in 10 years, burn down everything that's French and be like, no, we're changing. That's crazy. It's never happened anywhere in the world.
But hold on. I have a plan. I have a plan for the French language. Okay. Now, it may seem like insanity at first.
It's anyways, George, keep going.
I'm kind of curious. I want to hear. You've been trying to get this plan out for like 10 minutes.
No, forget it.
Let's just hear it.
It's a stupid joke of mine.
No, I want to hear it.
No, it's okay.
Please,
it's okay.
go on.
No, it's a serious show. You must remain serious.
I will not let the show continue if you don't tell me.
Who the fuck are you then?
I'm the co-host of the morning show, Phil Balabanos.
He's the host.
Doesn't matter. Okay, look.
Well,
It's okay, just go on, go on.
The paradox in the situation here in Quebec is that, we're thinking that with the French language bill, we're eliminating another language because we're imposing all these restrictions. And I understand that point of view. But
that's not what's happening. You're limiting the French from going to English schools too,
That's what
right?
he's getting at.
Yeah.
no, what I'm trying to say is that, we're seeing it as Quebecers instead of seeing it like on a greater picture where English isn't so much in trouble in Quebec. Or in Canada. I mean, like the rest of Canada speaks English. We're not going to have an issue with English, but you may very well have an issue with your French. And there's a lot of studies that have been conducted that demonstrate that it is in decline.
Of course,
So-
that's why you should have both languages. You can't if you're English, you can't say if you're English you can only learn English. Your kids can only go to English school. They don't have to learn French. And you're French, you only have to learn French. Because then, if more people are having kids that speak English and are in these English communities, and less are having French, then French is going to decline. You
But that-
need to
yeah, but
have it
all-
applied for both languages across the board, so everyone. So if the population grows, so does French.
I think it's disproportionate because English will always keep growing much more and much faster.
So why hold French back? Why hold French back? Why stop people from? Because in this bill, you're also saying if you're in English school, you're doing the English, and if you're in French, you're doing the French, right?
No, what happened? Well, look, the laws stay the same. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to beef up the French language.
Have
chart.
you
I'm not
heard
sure it's
people
not out
speaking
yet.
French who went through the English system here? Have you heard how they speak French?
Say that again. I didn't
Have
hear
you
the
heard
first
how
one.
people who went through the English system here speak French?
Yeah, you guys both went to French schools. I went to immersion.
Yeah, have you heard? Have you ever, or even the West Island? Have you heard them speak French?
They
Okay, it's not
don't.
that bad.
Hey, they don't. That's what I'm saying. So both these languages should be on equal playing field. So I don't care if you went to an English school, you'll learn French just as well to maintain it. Because again, if most people come internationally, they're gonna know English because it's an international language, not because they hate Quebec.
French
So
is
when
an
they come
international
here,
language also though.
so when they come here, if they're comfortable with that and they're allowed to just continue that, and their kids don't have to learn French as well as the French, but the Frenchies have to keep the French. What do you think is going to happen over time when the population of English is just grow? It just grows. The French one is going to come in decline. It's going to become full secondary. You need to apply it across the board. They need to learn both languages. How? But Phil, explain to me. This is simple math. Explain to me how, if you have more people speaking English and they keep having kids, and more immigrants that come in are speaking English and they don't have to learn French, how are you going to keep French up?
Well, first and
You can't.
foremost,
That's
you
why-
can't,
so-
you
sorry,
can't
Phil,
do
sec-
this through regulation.
Of course you can.
No,
Yeah,
what they're
yeah.
doing now is because they impose, by imposing, you take away a right. If you allow, deregulating the languages in Quebec is probably the only way to take away the stigma around language, and then say all schools can teach both across the board equally, like Switzerland. Everything is bilingual.
Yeah, all schools all schools should across the board here.
Yeah, but
There's no
because
reason
of the
not to.
regulations now they can't. They literally have created a system
That's what I'm
where
saying.
they cannot. That's
That's
what I'm saying.
saying.
Deregulate it.
No, if
take
you
away-
deregulate it, you can't, because you're trying to deregulate and then you give the choice. If you give
No choice. I'm just saying now this is what we do everywhere. Basically what I'm trying to say is the thing that's hurting French the most is the language charter.
Of course.
in Quebec. Bill 101 is what's killing French.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It should be across the board, English and French. Because I didn't know that you could. There's certain parts in Montreal you could go to where they don't speak a word of French, for example. At school, like no, but it's like a second or third. Like, it's not real, and they learn it horribly. So what should happen is both. And if the rest of Canada doesn't want to learn, that's their fucking problem. But here they shouldn't be limited because you're gonna have French people. You're gonna have French people that can't speak English that. They're stuck when it comes to the international platform. And then you're going to have, if more and more immigrants come in that speak English, if more of the English community is just send them to English schools and they don't have to learn French, then French is going to go in decline. It's just basic math.
Yeah, but there's also the flip side of the coin where you have the English-speaking communities over here that say, "Look, it's our fucking right, and if we want to speak only English,
But
we should
that's
only be
fine.
able to speak English."
That's fine. But I'm saying in schools, in the education system, what's the harm? We teach other nonsense. We can't teach them both languages. Are we fucking kidding? Like, if you want at home, speak
there is no
English
harm.
the whole time. But what's the
There's no
harm of
harm.
teaching
And
these
I
kids
think,
French?
and I think I told you this last week. There's Greg Kelly, who's a member of the Liberal Party. He's in opposition. He actually presented a motion offering the Quebec government an idea to implement more French language teaching in the English schools.
I'm for that.
But I think the flip.
It was
the
rejected.
Inverse,
It was
Okay.
rejected. So, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Like, nothing fucking makes sense anymore.
When I have kids, if I have kids, forget just English, French, Greek. But if there's a chance for them to learn Spanish or Chinese, I'm gonna be all for that. I'm gonna be all for that. I want them to have all the tools in their fucking pocket. I'm not gonna limit my kids.
No, why would you?
That's crazy.
I screwed up teaching my kids Greek, like big time.
You taught it improperly.
I didn't. I failed at I speak
yeah.
to her in Greek sometimes, but the older one doesn't understand me 90% of the time. Like George only speaks to his kids in Greek and broken Spanish. So I mean, he's trying at least.
He's trying at
fucked
least.
up
Yeah,
big time.
no. I want but here they limit, and a lot of Quebecers don't even see it too, because the English people won't get hit as hard. So let's say they only learn English, right?
What do you mean
They won't get hit as hard. You can only know English, and you can apply your skills internationally.
But you can't.
If
do
you
well
only
locally.
know, if you doesn't matter, I'm saying you could apply your stuff internationally, and you could still do stuff nationally.
Yeah, you could.
You could only know French, and it will limit you sometimes when you want to go international for something. So
It will.
Yeah, it will. So no, there should be both. I think because
but,
it helps all the
Pantelis,
students.
there's pros and cons on either side. Because if you only learn English with the idea that I'm not staying here and I'm leaving, fine, do it. But if you're only learning English and you're planning on living the rest of your life in Quebec,
It doesn't make sense. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not for one language. I'm for both. I'm saying both should be on equal playing field. Here, when like the next generation should be fully bilingual. They should know the culture, the complete culture. They should be embraced in it. Not this separation of stupidity, because they're both hurting each other.
It's not only about language; it's also about use. Like my French was very good up until the third year of high school, where the immersion program flipped to mostly English.
Well, if you went to the same elementary as I did, our French was not that good.
When I got to high school, you went into a French school. When
Yeah.
I went into immersion, which
Oh, you went to an English school. That's why.
when I got to high school, my French was, I mean, maybe not my oral French because I didn't use it often.
I went to a French school, so my English seemed very high.
My English was like I didn't even know how to structure an English sentence on paper. I could speak English perfectly.
Okay, I was always good in English.
Yeah, so when I got to immersion, the first year of French immersion in an English Montreal school board school, all your courses are in French except for English. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. The thing is, though, all the kids in the class are Anglophones.
Yeah, so it's
So my French on paper was excellent. I did way better than everyone. But speaking, I mean, I have an accent. Like, I still remember being asked how long I've been in Quebec. Like, when I was in the workforce. Like, do you like it here? I was like, what? What are you talking about?
but I will say,
because I don't use my French.
just
The only
because
reason.
Psychohazard made a statement, I will say one thing. When I do get those messages of, because I get them both ways. I get French people commenting on the podcast, on the English ones, and saying, this is helping me practice my English, thanks Pantelis. And then I have people here who haven't spoken French for years, who find interesting guests on the French cast, and they go, bro, I haven't watched anything in French, and now I'm practicing my French, all that shit. So I like that
happened
that's
to me.
happening. Yeah, I
It's
like that
happened to me.
I like that that's happening. What I'm saying is now we're older. For our own lives, it's good, if you learn both languages, but it's minimal to what the next generation, the power we can give them if they know a lot of languages.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to what I just said. You can learn a language, that's fine. But if you don't use it,
Yeah.
like I read news in Greek. And for
Me
the
too.
last year, I haven't been as much. And I find now that when I read a Greek website, I'm like, "Ooh," I gotta like slow down a little.
So every day,
And it's only a year that.
every day, well, for my whole life, it's been the sports news in Greece, obviously. So every day, I'm going to read English, Greek, and French, because I have stuff that I read in Greek, which is the European athletic stuff, and sometimes politics in Greece. I have the news here, my Twitter feed, the stuff that I put out is in English. And then I have the local medias every day when I catch up, see what's happening, and that's in French. And it doesn't bother me. Now it's become natural to do all the three things. And I wish I was more fluent in French earlier. I wish I knew Chinese, dude. I wish I knew more languages. Yeah.
I remember when I left the CLSC and I started taking clients of my own.
Yeah.
My French, and I was there, 6 years, I think. I mean, day one CLSC Phil French and day, whatever it was, the last day, I mean, massive difference. Because I was around French Canadians all the time, right? And it's that. And they used to send me articles and send me Facebook stuff that I would read in French and I would write in French and I would speak in French. But again, once you take that out, it's like you lose practice.
So
right away.
so Viron wasn't bringing it up in the chat for this reason, but he knows the story, I think. Because when I was in university, you could take language, you could take ancient Greek, you could take Latin and stuff. And I remember arguing with a girl because she was asking, she's like, "Do you know ancient Greek? Because I'm taking this in Latin." I was like, "Bitch, you don't even speak French. You don't speak a word of French, and you live in Canada, but you're learning fucking Latin. Like, are we all like? You know how stupid that is." You know how
there's
fucking stupid that
nothing
is?
wrong with
No, but
learning
I'm just saying, God damn it, man. Like, you're like, this is what I'm gonna apply to nothing. to nothing. You're gonna apply it to nothing. You
that
dummy.
argument, because I took ancient Greek for.
That should be like a hobby.
Yeah, it should be like at least learn French first.
Yeah.
God damn it, man. Learn Spanish before you learn
dead
Latin.
language is still a useful skill.
Learn Spanish, learn
Yes.
German,
Sure.
Mandarin, learn stuff that you could, if you're gonna go to. I'm just saying, do whatever you want, but goddamn,
Have you ever
we're
heard
talking
Latin
about.
spoken like in a movie or anything?
Tell me.
I don't like. I was watching a clip from Il Primo Re, which the first king, like the foundation of Rome, and it's all in Latin, right? It's an Italian production. So fucking interesting.
Yeah.
So the sound of it, when you close your eyes and you're not really paying attention to what they're saying, you just kind of like zone out. It sounds like they're speaking Greek because it has the same kind of intonations.
The vibrations.
They should make they should remake 300, but ancient Greek. They all speak ancient Greek.
Look,
The actors learn.
we're gonna jump away from the language stuff.
yeah.
The only message that I'm trying to give to people is that it does not hurt to the fact that we're trying to cancel people, like stop them from learning, especially
Yeah.
one of the two languages that are official in Canada. To me, is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. But that's it. The more languages you know, the better it is for you. It's more tools in your system. Don't be scared to learn a new language. You fucking dummies.
Yeah, learn a new language.
Yeah. Especially first start with the language that they speak in your country.
Like the language of love.
Yeah.
Learn the language of love, como es Jorge. He play guitar.
Just install Duolingo.
George, what's next? George, he said install Duolingo while you beat off to Dua Lipa or
It
some
was
shit.
the same way. It was just install Duolingo. Brought to you by Poseidon.
Oh.
That's it.
George,
Boys,
what's
I
next on the
gotta-
docket? You gotta go?
I gotta run.
All right, get out of here, G. Play George out. Play George out. George, where are they going to find you? You have a new episode of Just As That dropping today at noon.
There's a new episode of Just As Dad dropping at noon. We're talking with a friend of mine. He's gay, so we're talking about raising a child.
Hold on.
Your
Hold
husband.
on. Hold on, George. You can't just walk over that. What the fuck kind of a way to introduce your
He's
guest is
gay.
that? Look, we got a guy on the podcast. You're not going to believe this. He's one of them queers. Like, what?
Them
We're
backdoor
talking,
party
we're talking
boys.
about we're talking about raising kids as a gay dad. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
Oh.
You could have opened with that, George.
Yeah, you could have opened with that. Is he single?
Or are you looking to mingle?
His husband are raising, they adopted a child.
Okay, that's what I'm
Oh,
curious.
okay,
If it's
yeah.
like a one gay dad or okay, so he's gonna
no.
tell you what it's like.
Yeah, and it's a super cool episode. And then tonight at 7, there's on the backstage with Dominique Anglade. She's the leader of the Provincial Liberal Party. We talk about her book. She talks about how she lost her parents in the earthquake in Haiti,
Oh,
and
fuck.
I didn't
you
know
know
that.
her whole childhood and everything leading up to the fact that to her becoming the first black woman to lead a major party in North America. So
Is
it's
she
cool.
is she doing the interview in English or in French?
It's in French. That one is in French.
So it's in French. You see,
I was just
George,
about to ask.
do you see the power of language? Because I'm just saying, if you couldn't speak French and she couldn't speak English, you
we
guys
could have done it
couldn't.
in English, actually. She's perfectly
Bilingual.
bilingual.
There you
It's
go.
just that,
How amazing is that?
That is
You
interesting.
see, yeah. Anyways, so thank you, G, for that. Check out George. Links are in the description. Just As Dad's new episode at 12. New episode of the Backstage Podcast tonight at 7. One's in English, the other's in French. George has you covered. Yeah.
Take care.
They want me to speak French in the chat. I hate when people say that.
Bye,
They're like,
George.
oh, later, George.
Later, G.
When they're like, oh, you speak Greek? Say something in Greek. You
Yeah,
speak-
that doesn't make
it's
any
just
sense.
weird.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable.
My worst thing was when I started doing comedy, like, say something funny. Like, I was like, ugh,
Pickle weasel.
pickle weasel is funny.
It is
yeah.
funny, yeah.
You know why that always bugged me? Because you don't go to a chef and tell him, cook something for me, right?
You wanna
Nah.
laugh? I was using
What do you
the
wanna
same
die?
example yesterday on my show Annabelle Labette.
Yeah, but I
not
I
your
had a
show.
joke about this in
Her show.
2013. I had a joke about this in 2013.
Look how mad
Look
he
at his
is.
face.
Look
Yeah,
how mad he is.
It was verbatim my joke that I had in 2013 about the girl, and then I was like, it doesn't work that way. She's like, yeah, because you're this dude. I go, fuck. Well, look at you. I can't be like you're a skank. Blow me here. Like there's limits. There's a time and place for everything. And I was yeah, and I had said it to the girl I said to in real life at a club a week before I did the half-hour set in 2013 at Theatre St. Catherine. So then I said it on stage.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because she
You
pissed
told
me
her
off
that?
all night. Yeah, she was
Oh, that's
all night.
amazing.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Anywho.
Do we have a first aid kit here? I need to change this disgusting Band-Aid.
How long have you had that bandit on?
It's just coming off. It's from yesterday.
Oh, so well, stop pulling it. Ugh, what happened to
It's
you?
not a safe place
That,
here.
okay. Apparently, I
And you're
forgot
right,
how to.
Phil, hour.
Wait, you do have.
Better. I do. Yeah. I don't know if
Ye-
I have Band-Aids in it though. I'll check later. No, I don't know. The dumbest thing I've ever done. I put on my jacket and I was on the balcony and I went like this, like to fix my sleeve.
Oh, and you got cut.
And I just punched the fucking corner of the brick wall because I'm an idiot.
Sometimes it's so I get
So random.
weird
Like,
random
my whole
injuries
level.
too. I'm like, what a fucking idiot.
It doesn't hurt. It didn't hurt at the time, really. It just kind of like stung, but it bled like crazy. It was really weird.
Really?
I mean, I had just taken a shower. My skin was dry. Maybe it just like cut it easier. You know, when you come out of the water, the hot water, your skin's all dry.
Yeah, and now also with the weather changing,
And
my
the
skin gets
Purell
dry too.
stuff and all that. The alcohol-based stuff, like it dries out your skin like
Well,
crazy.
that might be maybe contributing as well.
Maybe. Take these off now that George is gone. Because my ears get spitzy.
Your ears get sweaty. You don't like the headphones. You don't like putting.
I don't like
headphones
wearing
on.
them.
Yeah, Phil, not a headphone guy. Poseidon, you alright? Why do you look
Sorry.
like you saw a ghost?
Oh, no, I'm watching the.
Do your eyes hurt yet?
No, why? Why would
Why?
they hurt?
I don't know, because you've been wearing your sunglasses inside for a while, and it looks like you were squinting. So I thought maybe your eyes were hurting.
I mean,
Oh, not at all. They're actually fake sunglasses.
Oh, my real
Wait,
sunglasses.
what do you mean fake
broke.
sunglasses?
Like I thought they were real when I bought them, and I paid super cheap.
You mean they're not real Ray-Bans is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, but they're real sunglasses. Like they have tinted lenses.
Oh yeah, like they work. They actually work better than my real sunglasses.
Bro, I got my real Ray-Bans that I
Yeah.
ordered custom. I fucking broke the lenses.
Never seen a lens on like the
way it broke?
The way it broke, it looked like it was made in the 20s, like with real glass.
Yeah, like
It just. I've never seen that.
because it's concrete floor here. Yeah, it's polarized. It's weird.
The polarization should have actually prevented that because there's a coating. Really strange. It's just a bad angle, I guess, that it fell at.
But I wasn't prepared to throw away. It's the most expensive pair I ever bought because I put my own stuff on there. So I called the optometrist, and I didn't buy it from them, but I gave them the
Yeah,
model
they'll buy the
number,
lenses.
and they said we'll get you the new lenses, the polarized whatever the fuck gray shit it is, and then you'll come when we have them. You'll pay for them, and we'll install them.
Last year when I was in Florida, I scratched my polarized Ray-Bans, and I found like replacement lenses, like knockoff for cheap, polarized, G15 green, all that shit.
Yeah.
I put them on. It was like when I would look towards the sun, my eyes thought they were protected, so they wouldn't like dilate. But then I would just get blasted with light. They were so cheap. Like never fucking buy cheap sunglass lenses.
Yeah. No.
So bad for your eye.
I love my pair. I'm so pissed at, and it just slipped out of my hand. It fell on my face actually on the floor, fucking poster that we have, whatever, and it just.
It is a concrete floor. I mean, if you caught an angle, like,
That's what it is. It caught an
it
angle.
it just caught a bad
And
angle.
it
That's all
fucked
it
it.
is. It fucked it right in the.
But you can replace them. I think it's $50 the lenses or some shit. It's not that expensive to replace the lenses on my giant aviators.
Oh, the chat's up here.
That's weird. Poseidon's gonna be. Don't put the chat behind us because if you're showing the middle cam, because then it's gonna be weird.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do then.
Not show the chat.
It was
Yeah. Steve Rousseau dropped a super chat, but he didn't tell us anything. He didn't tell us what he wants to know, so we're just gonna say hi to Steve.
just fixing my pants here.
Poseidon's.
Now that George is gone, I can sit comfortably. I don't have to look over.
Yeah,
at
I
him.
like this. I'm looking at Poseidon.
Yeah, I don't like looking at Poseidon, but it's fine.
Nobody likes looking at Poseidon.
I mean,
except
not
for
even Poseidon.
No, except for Poseidon.
Well, you masturbate in the mirror, eh?
Oh, all kinds, bro.
That's disgusting. Oh, that was so gross what you just did.
That was weird. Yeah.
Bit
Did
his
you see
lip,
how?
too.
Did you see how fast the European Super League that everyone
Disbanded.
was worried about? Yeah, bro.
I thought it was interesting what they did. I
People-
thought it was terrible. but it
was
was
it? It's so funny because the propaganda campaign worked, but dude, people were jumping on me. The fuck like, oh yeah, this is not endangering football. This you guys are. And like, wait, you fucking retarded. Like the poor built the teams and the rich are stealing. I go, the rich have stolen these teams a long time
Yeah,
ago.
a long time ago.
And so don't worry. This is not what you think they have. This is endangering nothing. They're all freaking the fuck out. And then what happened though? What happened? As soon as it took 2 days, they saw who has the real
I
power.
mean, it was
told
obviously
you.
going to happen.
Yeah, bro. What are you doing, Poseidon?
timed.
Why are you giggling?
It was pretty funny.
Oh, this guy. Yeah. Leave the Asian guy alone.
Is that who is that? Is that guy famous?
I don't
Or
know,
just a
bro.
random Asian guy?
I wanted
He
to
looks
mess,
like South Korean Poseidon.
I wanted to mess with you on one of the episodes.
Who, me?
Yeah,
So you just had him.
yeah.
there in
I
case?
just had him there, and
He really
and
does
the
look like a
picture
South
stayed.
Korean version of you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks similar. It looks like you're related.
But you do have like Asiatic features sometimes. Remember when you had that weird
Sometimes.
haircut and you look like Kim Jong Un?
Yo,
That's because of the haircut.
because
Maybe.
people are at home now, so they're streaming a lot of stuff. They're consuming podcasts, movies. Have you noticed the drastic price difference in the rental of some new movies that are only streaming?
$29.99 to rent a movie.
Yes, some are $30, some are $5, some are $15. There's no
It's a free for all.
there's no common ground because you know what I want to watch? I want to watch Nobody.
Nobody. Which one's that?
It's with Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul.
Yeah. It looks
And
fun.
yeah, I think it was like $30 or something. And I was like, I don't know, man. The price tag pisses me off.
$30 is pretty intense. Like,
Hey, isn't it on Netflix?
No.
no, not yet. It's brand new. Who made that?
Oh.
Is that a...
I don't know. Maybe it's an indie. I don't know. It's not on HBO or anything like that. But I was just.
I forget who made
Yeah, I saw that
I think
in-
it's a Showtime series, right? Showtime production.
I have no idea.
Not sure. But it looks fun.
Showtime makes movies.
Yeah, of course they make movies.
I had no,
They
I had no idea.
produce all kinds of stuff. They have their studio.
Yeah.
But
No.
you're right. It's literally all over the place.
No, so I want to obviously rent it, but I think I'm gonna wait till it's $20 or less.
See, someone's saying torrent it, but that's
No, but
not
torrent
a solution.
it.
You're killing the
Yeah,
industry.
you're killing the industry. Like torrent it. It's like you're telling us someone steal the shit that we put up for. It's if you want to keep seeing shit, you can't never not pay. Like a store that you like in your neighborhood.
No.
If everybody goes in and just steals shit and never pays for it,
Yeah.
yeah, that store that you like is not
Especially
gonna
now
exist.
that the theaters are
Yeah,
more or less done
store's
for
not
now.
gonna. Yeah.
I'd watch that. The movie?
Watch what?
Nobody.
Okay.
I read the description. It seems
Are
interesting.
you guys still doing movie nights?
No, I've given because we do so many podcasts during the week now.
There's no time.
I've given Poseidon his weekends. Yeah, because he
Movie nights was an interesting concept. It was very mystery. What was it called?
Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, 3000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, movie nights are fun. They're gonna come back once everything schedules out. Like give it a month or two. We have to see when everything's opening up, so I know what's happening with the clubs and tour and all that shit. And then we're gonna bring it back, but we're gonna reduce. We're gonna have the same amount of podcasts. Maybe we're gonna add a couple more, but we're gonna reduce our days physically in the studio. We're gonna try to do more back-to-back stuff, so that because now it's so spread out that we don't have any time off. Like we're always working on something.
Yeah.
So like people don't know this, but it's just like him, especially the guy's a doofus. I'm gonna burn him out. He might kill himself. Like every
No.
A testament to how often you guys do stuff throughout the week. Like it's hard for me to even book time to do client work. Like you guys are always
it's just it's always something
And if
going
you
on.
guys aren't shooting, I'm shooting.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what
I
I'd
haven't
like to
seen
do is
Spiro in a while.
condense it. He just texted me.
did he?
He'll be in
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah, good.
So maybe let's say 3 days a week, and in those 3 max 4 days, and in those 4 days of work, everything's happening. You get it?
Yeah.
Back to back, whatever. So in 4 days, we're covered for the full 7. So then he has 3 days off. I have 3 days to edit and put shit out. So again, I'm not gonna have days off, but at least he won't kill
That
himself.
seems like it's gonna screw me in the long run. We're gonna have to look at that, how that works.
Why would that screw you?
Because that'll only give me specific days of the week that I have access to the studio
But right now, you're always using specific days.
right now.
Yeah.
Because those were the days available and I booked them.
Yeah.
But then when clients are like, which days do you have? I can't, like, let's say, maybe you give me Thursday, Fridays, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I really can't those 2
Oh,
days.
that's okay. Well, you just tell us. We'll
We'll figure
accommodate.
it out.
Calm
yeah.
down.
I'm not. I'm just saying
Yeah.
we're gonna have to like figure.
I'm
it out.
very flexible, Phil. I like to
I'm honestly
accommodate
worried
the
'cause
people.
We haven't had to really share the studio until recently, and like clients cancel stuff sometimes for me. It happened. It
Yeah.
happened 3 times in the last 2 weeks where they just keep postponing the shoot, and I know that not only is that costing me money, but I'm having you reschedule things.
Yeah, but look. So what I'm going to do is I see that most of your shit happens mid to late week. I notice you don't have a lot of Monday, Tuesday stuff here.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. It's
And it
just-
was the
but
same
that's
for
by
me.
Chance.
It was the same for me. So now I'm gonna start scheduling shit more early week because it looks like everybody is like never ready and they want to do it later in the week.
Which is such a such a stupid thing because later in the week, beginning of the week, it makes no difference. We could just go to the next week. Like people are dumb.
Well, for me now the weeks don't really matter
Yeah, it
like they
doesn't
used to because I'm always working. So a day is just a day, and it's just what do I have doing? But
Yeah.
I don't have any time off anymore. And dude, things haven't opened up yet. Wait till we have to schedule like tour dates.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nightmare.
Even me, I'm not at full capacity now producing stuff. Like not everyone's doing stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm busy, but it's only with a couple of clients. Like if it got busier, like I don't know how. All I'm waiting for right now is for my youngest to start daycare to free up more time because I'm watching her during the
And
day,
the
right?
oldest to get a job.
I mean, whatever. She's kind of lazy.
The older one is the recycling one.
Yeah.
Get her to start recycling.
When she did that today, I was just like, I got a glimpse of her as a teenager. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
not gonna be good.
Dad, you tyrannical fascist. Why do you hate the planet?
Yeah.
Your generation did this. Like, I was like, oh, God.
She's gonna see you on the balcony. You're gonna be smoking. She's gonna be like, you know who else smoked? Hitler, you fucking Nazi.
She's going to call me a Nazi. I don't
No, I don't think the word's gonna be as interchangeable as it is now. I think people are gonna smarten up and stop using it dumbly, stupidly.
Dumbly is a good word.
I like dumbly.
Dumbly.
But I changed to stupidly because when you say dumbly, it makes you think of Gimli, the dwarf. So it becomes too goofy.
I was thinking of the Gimli Patterson. Gimli Patterson footage.
I've been called a Nazi.
Yeah?
Recently, yeah.
Oh, recently?
In bed?
Yeah, well, last year actually.
That's not recently. That's a year ago.
I mean, it's
Well,
pretty recent.
it's recent in terms of timeline.
It's about
of
as
my
far
whole
back
life.
as you
Is
can
it?
remember.
No, of my whole life, it's recent.
That's fair enough.
How old are you?
I'll give him that. Math is objective.
27.
Are you
So
27?
1/27th is life.
Good for you.
And
Why is he laughing?
no, I don't know, just because. Yeah, I got called a Nazi for the first time.
A Nazi or a
Because
Nazi?
Is there a story to
Nazi.
this? Or
No,
Yeah.
because of my views on immigration.
what were your views on immigration? Kill them.
No, I
Kill
was
the
against
brownies.
illegal immigration, but the girl
You're
had,
against illegal immigration.
Yeah,
Everyone should
Should
be against illegal
yeah, but
immigration.
her views on immigration was just leave the borders open, let everyone stroll in and stroll out as they fucking please.
Okay, you're not a Nazi.
Yeah.
She's retarded.
Exactly, thank you. You know what I mean? And I had this view, and we were on the phone actually when we were having this conversation.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, why would you just? But she's like, well, it would be nice, open borders. I'm like, yeah, but reality is there's bad people out there. You gotta, put checks. and
Open
balances.
borders would be nice.
Sounds like she listens to like Manu Chao and Gogo
That doesn't
Bordello.
make any sense though.
she
It would be
goes-
nice to have open borders. You don't know who everyone is, so that would
she
be
go-
like leave your door unlocked when you go
Yeah.
home. You just let people walk in if they're hungry while you're at work. They can just eat something from the fridge. They won't say anything. Like that's a weird way to look at things.
Yeah, and she was like, well, no, just leave the borders open. Blah blah blah.
Jesus
Nah,
Christ.
you're-
Did you have sex with this human being?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Attaboy.
Unfortunately, because she was attractive physically,
But mentally,
but mentally she was very.
yeah. When she
deficient.
opened her mouth, she threw rocks.
And Poseidon caught
Yeah.
them.
It happens, but a lot of people do that now. It's the whole. We talked about it. By the way, very interesting podcast, the Pantelis podcast this week with Guillaume Dulude,
The most interesting man in Quebec.
the most interesting man in Quebec, PhD in neuropsychology. He went to live with tribes around the world, like over 50 tribes. The motherfucker had spent time with, like crazy
How did he
shit.
find 50 tribes?
Dude, because that's what he studies.
not
He studies human
uncontacted
communication,
tribes,
all that. Huh?
Not like uncontacted tribes. Like he didn't fuck them up. He's like, surprise, it's other people.
No, he explained to us that most of the tribes now, most of them have some sort of contact. And then towards the end, he said something that made me kind of sad. Some of the tribes you go to now, because they've been influenced.
Yeah.
So you'll be sitting by the fire, traditional governments and that, and you'll see two of them on their fucking cell phones. Or they have solar panels, which solar panels are cool,
Solar panels
but
are
it's just weird to see them on phones and stuff. He goes, it's fucked up. But you teach them, hey man, you the other village across, you can FaceTime with them. Dude, they're not like in a movie. They're gonna be like, no, we reject this. They're gonna be like, fuck, it's amazing. I don't have to walk there anymore to give the guy the news. That
They start podcasts.
Yeah, they start podcasts. So,
Yeah, Clubhouse.
but anyways,
Tribes are interesting. Like, I guess all these tribes are what, like Southern Hemisphere, most likely.
yeah. Southern Hemisphere, he
I
was
mind
in
you, no,
Africa
sorry,
a
I
lot.
take that back. There
Pygmies.
must be a lot of tribes in the north, like in Siberia, that are
I don't know.
contacted,
you
but
have-
that live the tribe life.
I have no idea. You have to
I
ask.
wonder.
You have to ask him, but he knows all about that. So he mentioned now, because we're promoting delusion all the times. So there should be like a constant, let's say, truth. That you'd adhere by in order to have a society, right?
Such
but
as?
now we're bending, such as anything. Like for example, such as right now we're broadcasting
Okay.
live on the internet.
All right.
You saying no, we're not broadcasting live. I don't believe it. It's not really happening, even though we have evidence that it is happening. If I just say, yeah, of course we're not live, man. Say whatever you want. Like we're not. This isn't real. This is on the internet.
delusion.
Doesn't help you.
Okay.
That's a delusion. So we basically now, in order to demonstrate our valor, we'll say things when they're not real. So if you're a victim of, let's say, because there's a difference between, he was explaining victimhood and victimization. So victimhood is actual victims, sexism, racism, actual victims.
Okay.
But then there's victimization, which is somebody jumping on the bandwagon to make themselves a victim. For example, Poseidon is a black guy. He gets stopped by police. He says the wrong thing, and he gets beaten unwarranted. He's a victim. You jump in, and you're like, me too. It made me feel bad to listen to this story about it. I'm starting a
I feel
GoFundMe
oppressed
to
now.
raise some money because I too am oppressed by hearing that story. It's like, well, fuck, you're not. That's victimization. You're jumping in saying that you're a victim too, but you're not. He's the victim here.
So
Take care of the
victimhood is a real
victims.
victim. Victimization is playing the victim.
But victimization is rampant now. A lot
Yeah.
of people, because you get all our dopamine most of our dopamine is coming from not direct contact and being positive in people's lives. It's coming from negative stuff that you put out on the internet. So it's coming either from fake victimization, jumping on the bandwagon, not letting victims be victims, try to help them. It's like you find out a girl comes in and says, I was just raped. Instead of you trying to figure out what the fuck happened and helping her, you're like, yeah, I think I might have been raped too, so it's not like a big deal. Like me too, I went. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Take care of the victim. What? So we have that, and then people, especially women, are trying to catch up to like a fake reality. So you have like the Kardashians who will put out heavily edited photos and develop a standard of beauty, you know, that's unreal and unattainable. And then they'll complain when a photo of them unedited goes out and then say it's terrible. The standard for women beauty, I can't attain that because it was not photoshopped. So I can't attain the level that society. No, you put that level out there. You've been heavily.
Who tweeted against that the other day?
I don't remember.
Someone went after one of the Kardashians.
I even went after. I was like, this is crazy. You put that out there, so a lot of young girls are growing up and they're trying. They think that naturally they could look the way you look through surgery or through edits, and you're fucking with their heads. And then after, when a picture of you comes out natural,
you're all like,
you're like, oh, I can never attain the standards that you set. They didn't set them. You set those standards. So there's a lot of stuff like that that's happening. Anyway, so it was very interesting to hear him.
I haven't watched the episode yet.
Speak on that.
Frenchcast or podcast?
It's a podcast. I did it in English. People asked why I did it in English instead of French.
More people can understand it.
The reason I did is because people know him in Quebec, and he speaks English too. So I wanted other people to see him and know him. But he's going to come back for a French cast too. He's an interesting guy.
I want to watch it.
So
it sounds like an interesting guy.
And it's just the communication that we have with people and how, what you promote. So since now, like I said, a lot of people through negative, like let's say Twitter, instead of, okay, let's take a look at the situation. It's, fuck you, retard. You said something that I don't think I'm going to agree with. And somebody will like or retweet it. I don't think. If we live in the world of delusion, you have to live in reality. This is, what happened is this. Let's look at the facts, math, basically. Stuff that is, because we'll debate on nonsense now. We spend our time debating on nonsense, living in a fictitious world, and then you wonder why depression is high, and also self-accountability. He had a whole thing about self-accountability because
that's the real pandemic of
that's the real pandemic, because we talk about depression, we talk about work, we talk about a lot of stuff, but most people aren't ready, and they haven't been taught societally to get up and change. Guillaume Duluth,
right?
Get up and change things themselves. It's like a kid who shits his pants. It's a baby. He'll sit there and shit. As an adult, if you shit your pants, you should know. Instead of waiting there for someone to come clean you, you fucking go clean up. You can't be there like, I have shit in my pants. What am I to do? Well, you have a way out of that. Don't just sit there and complain about it. So it was very interesting, but also just the way we communicate and stuff was. Because there's stuff that you do that you're unaware of that happens in milliseconds.
Yeah, of course.
That you can't control. Stuff that you can't hide. Stuff that comes out, So he was, but we live in a time where most people are trying to put a fake face in front of them. Okay. But at the same time, you have things that you can't control. They won't let you. You get it? So no matter how hard you're trying to fake it, your synapses. Okay. So no matter how hard you're trying to display,
a tell, for example?
like a tell or long form interviews like this, like long form. So in a short burst, you can give the answers. You could give the right answer that might be a lie, but it's what the lie that people want to hear. You get it? But in long form, after a while, you start digging, chipping away. It comes out. Yeah, so that's why podcasts.
I look at my vlogs that I used to do. Mm-hmm. I was watching it the other day and I was like, man, I was so high energy and like I'm not like that on my podcast. And I realized, no, I'm not. Like this is like a 30-minute thing that I cut down to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So like it's just choppy. Because it was when I was having my bad anxiety issues. I'm like, look how fast I used to be able to talk, and now I can't do it.
But it was
anymore.
all cuts.
But it was all cuts.
Yeah, people
points.
like you.
But
look
I
at
did that to myself, and I made myself feel bad about it.
Because you're like, I don't have the same level of energy.
Yeah, because my podcast is very it's like this.
Because it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But look, it's just like these YouTubers you see. That's not how real people talk. Real people don't talk like, hey, what's up, Jim? We're going for coffee. Of course we're going for coffee. Let me tell you that. Nobody talks like that in real life.
If they're on cocaine, they might.
But it was very interesting to show that we are really promoting the delusion. We're promoting the delusion and we're valuing the delusion instead of valuing the truth. Oh, you got to pee? All right. So Poseidon was there for that. You like that shit?
Yeah, it was. I'm thinking of buying his book in French.
Yeah, it's only in French?
It's only in French. I tried to look up the English version now. I can't find it. But he has a very... I like him because he's very similar to Jordan Peterson. Says the same stuff.
Yeah, accountability is key. Yeah,
exactly.
But even Jordan Peterson, when I was looking, like the way they were framing him, like who he was, and then when I started to look, I was like, "Fuck, man, that's a different thing than the headlines." Because the headlines were Nazi, sexist, all that, and it was pushing me away. Like I was like, I don't care. Then you start looking at it, and you're like, "What the fuck? That's a weird way to frame something."
Yeah, but because it doesn't follow their fucking bitch ass agenda.
I don't think it's agenda anymore. Again, it's what people are clicking on, what people like. People like that hate. People like to point and be like, this guy's a Nazi, this guy's a bad, and then they all feel good like they did something.
No.
Negative, dude, if it bleeds, it leads. Negative news sells. That's why CNN does it too.
Me, I love the interview he had with that lady from the BBC, and he just wrecked her.
Yeah, but
seen
her
that
too.
interview?
She went in with an agenda to prove that he's one way, so it was surprising when he... the best thing about that, so you're saying that when he left, the best thing about that whole interview was when he told her, she's like, women can't have the same stuff as this. And he's like, yeah, you can if you're... He said, what about you? You have a position that a lot of men want. You make more money than these guys. And she's looking at him. It's like, how did you get it? Or, I'm assuming you're not very agreeable. And then she's like, fuck, he's right. Yeah, like that. So that was a fun interview for that. Just like the woman was projecting something that clearly wasn't. Did you break the door? He walked into the door. That was clearly wasn't true in her own life. It wasn't even true in her own life, and she was saying it. So she's like, women can't move up in this industry, and he's like, the industry that you're in, that you've moved up to, that you moved up in, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah, he rattled her.
It's like me saying, people in Montreal, we just can't get on YouTube. We just can't make. You mean YouTube, the thing that you're making videos on right now, being from Montreal?
Yeah.
Is that so it's good. Yeah, I like people that are ready to talk like that, and that they don't get scared when people try to cancel them. You should I'm willing to listen to a lot of people and tell I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. Like we have the next episode coming out on Monday, which is on the Patreon right now, is David Weiss, the flat earth guy. Now, obviously the earth is not flat. I tried to tell him, but I kept it respectful. I didn't yell at him. I didn't make fun of him. I just asked questions I think everybody would ask. I laughed. With the laughter that happens in some of those things, I'm trying to hold it in. I wasn't doing it to mock him. It's just because some of the stuff I was like, you know what I mean? Like, especially when he's like, this is all scientific. And then I'll ask him questions about the moon. He's like, nobody knows what that is. It's God. It's mysticism. I'm like, oh, okay, that's funny. If it doesn't work in your model, now it's God. It's mysticism. But I thought we were all based on science. Anyways, so shit like that. But I
get it.
You get it.
I get it.
But I didn't bring him on to ridicule. Let him say, and now we know what they're thinking. And if you have any small understanding of basic earth sciences and how the globe works,
Just go under there.
yeah, it's you know that it's nonsense. That's it.
Sorry, my band-aid came off when I washed my hands.
Absolutely, it's not. Dude, there's no.
You have a
It is
boo-boo.
absolute. By the way, if you look at when you guys see the podcast on Monday, if you're not on Patreon, if you're on Patreon, you can watch it now because of the video version. He's using slides and stuff. By the way, I even said on the podcast, he's not trying. I could tell that he genuinely believes it. He's not trying to misinform you. He genuinely believes it, like a religious fanatic. He wholeheartedly believes it. It's just that it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And the flat earther, yeah. And the models, what you'll notice is the questions I was asking about day and night, they work independently, like this can happen with it, but they don't work together. So all my questions about, well, I thought we said this, then how does it work here? They're always separate. Well, if this can happen, then this can happen, but they never work together. Whereas in our universe, everything works together. Everything, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? There's no arbitrary motions. Everything is happening in sync. So,
Okay. No. The live stream's still working.
Pantelis just going to have the guy to mock him. What do you mean? No, I didn't bring him to mock him. I let him speak.
He's not gonna have him. He had him already.
I had him already. I didn't let him. Yeah, I didn't mock him.
No, that's not your MO at all.
That's not my MO. I never had a Pantelis podcast where I bring someone on like a dinner for schmucks type of situation. I was curious to see what they think. I really wanted to know. That's all it was. It's it's like talk shows. You bring people on. It's not to
Mock them.
It's like, well, you could mock certain people, I guess, but it's not the MO of the show. The show is just I'm interested in something. Let's hear about it. So the one before was the neuropsychology. The one right after was I want to know what the fuck, because I keep hearing about it.
You had a flat earther once before.
No, never.
Were you supposed to have one once before and you canceled?
I was supposed to have a flat earther a long time ago, and then he canceled because he thought I was gonna make fun of him.
Oh, okay.
But I let him. I didn't block him. I let him say all his stuff, and so people could could use their own fucking judgment.
I mean, it's not your job to make people's minds up, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have a conversation, you take from it what you will.
Yeah,
as
I
a
mean,
viewer.
if you watch it and you take from it, especially the stuff I'm saying, I don't know how the fuck you would think the Earth is flat, but some people.
I mean, I see people who like.
I just want to say also fast, I appreciate Mademoiselle Mew in the chat, in all of the chats actually, not just the morning show.
Yeah.
She has a positive vibe to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened?
She's
in general?
defending Pantelis.
Oh, thank you. What did I do this time?
Oh, nothing, because somebody was saying that you're
yeah.
not interested in the topic at all, that you were just going to have the guy to mock him.
No, I already did the episode. The episode's already up on Patreon.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said. I saw that comment.
And
too,
then-
and then
No, I
you jumped in.
And then Mademoiselle Mew said, he said the opposite, the complete opposite.
Yeah, of course. No, I wouldn't. That's crazy. Then nobody would ever want to come on the Pantelis podcast. It would be like an attack thing. They used to do this like on Oprah and all that stuff all the time. You bring someone on because it's an interesting thing. It's a hot topic people are talking about. It doesn't mean you agree with it and that you're trying to indoctrinate or you want to make fun of them. You know what I mean? You're just this is what you hear about. This is what they believe. Now you know what they believe. Every time you hear flat Earth or whatever, now you're going to understand what they believe, and you're going to understand why it doesn't work in real applied sciences. Yeah, in
Not
principle.
in principle. Sorry, in practice.
That's it. That's all it was. And he wasn't a bad guy. He was nice. He was calm. He wasn't trying to. I mean, sometimes he got upset. Like when Poseidon has a moment in the clip where he likes it, where I'm just like, that's preposterous or something like that. and then Poseidon laughs at that because the guy was like losing his shit a bit. But I didn't say it to I said it because I was trying to register and I go, what are you talking about? This has nothing to do with anything. And so Poseidon got upset. Poseidon was laughing.
The fact that there are people that believe that the Earth is flat and that there's some conspiracy is a really telling and terrifying sign of our times. Like that's how little trust there is in. I mean, I don't even know who to blame.
Oh yeah, he also said they believe that there's a dome, and then there's individual domes. It's nonsense.
Of course, there's a dome. How could you have a flat Earth without a dome? Don't be stupid.
Stop.
You need the dome.
Yeah.
It's like a biodome.
What was that movie though?
But again, the guy the reason why I'm also not mocking him is
The
because
Truman Show.
he was not a bad guy. You know when people are assholes? He wasn't a bad guy. It's just what he believes.
No, it's not. It's not a question of whether he's an.
There's
asshole
people
or
out there
not.
who are Scientologists. They're not bad people. They just believe in something stupid. Like, you know.
For me, Mormonism is the craziest thing.
But
The Church
that's
of
what I'm
Latter-day
saying. It
Saints.
doesn't make you a bad person.
Well, we all need to believe in something.
Yeah. But that's because a lot of it too, the flat Earth theory. You'll notice in the episode if you watch it. So towards the beginning, they try to make you think it's scientific, right? And then you start poking holes. You're like, that's not science. What about gravity? He's like, you have proof of gravity, like shit like that. So
I mean, technically,
Try to
if
float.
the Earth is flat, then gravity is negated by the fact that we're not spinning and we wouldn't fly off. We're just standing here.
yeah, but
I'm just saying there's always another argument.
there's always another argument, but
Yeah.
they're not all. But we've proven.
Also,
Anyways, no, hold on, because what I want to say is it starts off with that to get you thinking with big words, oh, this might be scientific. But then you know what it goes into? It goes into the modern day of you can be a hero. We're trapped in the Matrix. You're like Neo. You got to break out of it. That kind of stuff, like to make you think, like if you believe in the flat Earth, then you're against the system. Because he brought up to me a couple of times. We wanted to see where my head's at. He wanted to see if I'm religious, so that he could go the religious route, or if I'm against the government, if I trust the government, so I could go. I don't trust the government, but just because I don't trust the government does not mean that the Earth is flat. You get it? 1 and 1 does not equal. Because that would be crazy. That I would find something you don't like. Tell me something you actually positively hate. Poseidon. Well, you hate Poseidon. You know people who hate Poseidon. People who believe the Earth is flat also hate Poseidon. They've been trying to also out him as a bad
perfect.
person. You're like, oh, perfect.
The Earth is flat,
It doesn't
bro.
make sense. Yeah, it's a dumb argument. Anyways, but because he was nice and he gave me his time, I too was respectful to him, and I think it makes for an interesting podcast because you've heard this a million times, and now you get to know what they're thinking.
There's nothing wrong with two people who have different views having a discussion. Not a debate, a discussion.
It wasn't a debate either. It was just a discussion. I just want to know, like, what do you? Okay, so explain the days. Explain what do you guys think?
That's the problem today. The second someone has a different viewpoint than you, it becomes an argument. You're trying to prove, like,
He's
even
totally.
sometimes when we disagree on
Yeah.
stuff, we're both talking.
But we're Greek,
but
though.
we're
We're
not
heated.
debating.
We're not debating.
Just, like, people are like, "Oh, sick debate today." Like, a few
No, there's
times
no.
a week.
We're not debating.
We're not debating.
just
We're
Greeks.
having a conversation.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
very
Greeks
loud.
were very hard.
It's not a question of being Greek. It's
hot-blooded.
that, like, I'm actually not trying to disprove you.
No, we're just
I'm
talking. Like, I
listening to
think
what you're
this.
saying,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you what I think.
But even this guy, he was a nice guy. He was gentlemanly. He was a nice guy. He wasn't mean or anything. So I have no, like, I wasn't angry with the guy. This is what he believes. I just want to know, what is it? Just tell me the details so that people who hear this understand what the belief is in this, I guess, concept. I'm not going to say religion.
It's not easy to bring someone on, like a flat earther, for example,
Yeah.
and have them believe and trust that you're not going to ridicule them.
Yeah.
Because they know.
Well, it's been hard for me. Do you remember we were supposed to get a psychic on, this chick who's here in Montreal?
I remember this.
Yeah, and then she backed out last minute because she's like, I like Mike Ward. I see the stuff you do with him. However,
She thought she was gonna get rid of
yeah, I see 2 drink minimum. I think you're just gonna fuck. I go, you're not coming 2 drink minimum. You're coming on the Pantelis podcast.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're gonna make fun of me. This, and I go, fuck no, man.
I mean, she knew already.
Yeah, people think because they see me getting blasted.
No, but the thing is, you look at you look at the interviews I've done on the Pantelis podcast. It's never.
No.
That's
I've
not
never
that.
seen you go at someone.
That's not the point of the show.
Except for me, the time I was on.
No, I bring people on just because I think it'll be an interesting. Interesting doesn't mean I agree with you. Interesting just means enlightening. There's something interesting about it. Like this, obviously, it is not flat. But don't you guys want to know what exactly they think? What just like Scientology, it's nonsense. But I liked when South Park gave the actual details and told you what it was, and now I understand more what they think, and now I know how ludicrous it is.
It's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has had on people. There was this one guy that said,
Bro, he had Bernie Sanders on and fucking Crenshaw and all different people.
Yeah. There was one guy on Joe Rogan podcast. What did he say? He said the slaves were never brought in from Africa. That black people already existed in South America.
And Joe, and they were taken from South America. They never. He's trying to discredit it. Anyways, but that's the thing. Joe's
I would
like,
love to hear how this guy explains that away.
but that's the thing. There's people
he couldn't.
that.
I watched the
Yeah,
clip.
he couldn't. Yeah,
couldn't.
Joe's like, what
That's
the
a
fuck are you
I
talking
would have
about?
loved some crazy alien theory, something nuts.
But that's why it's important to have. So you know what the other side is thinking. So then, either if someone's right and you're wrong, you could learn from it, or your misconceptions can go away too. Now you understand where it's coming from. I think it's important.
Also, the thing about gravity, the on a flat Earth model, there's videos out there that has been explained. The closer you get to the middle of the circle, which in our case would be north, the more people would be standing sideways because of the way gravity works on a.
That's
So
not
they
true.
have
There is
some
no.
model
There's
of
no.
gravity?
No. I'll tell you why that's stupid too. There is no sideways. We're in space. It's a ball. There's no such thing as sideways.
No, we would be standing like a
No, he means
diagonally.
in their models.
In their models, no, in the flat Earth model,
Probably explaining it wrong.
if we take gravity how it is now,
Yeah.
and put it on their model,
But they don't
flat
believe
Earth-
in gravity. Their model doesn't include gravity.
Because they wouldn't
so
need
weird.
it. You're standing on a disc.
Yeah, but that's why it's stupid.
But even the very
then-
premise that if you're on a disc standing,
then if
you
there's
don't
no-
need gravity is only proved right by the existence of gravity.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing. Because gravity, we don't need to know that it's a thing to know that it works. We never did until we discovered it.
Yeah,
It was always there.
yeah. Like if there was no gravity, we'd just float.
I mean, that's not.
No,
I mean,
no,
the
no.
idea that you can step down on like solid earth or on something flat and not go wee.
Yeah.
It's such an ingrained part of our understanding.
But
of
his
existence.
but then he started. It's like space is a vacuum, and we're here. How come it's not sucking out the water? And I was trying to explain: a space vacuum is not a vacuum cleaner. A space vacuum doesn't suck. That's not how it works in science.
the absence of anything.
And so he's like, no, it shouldn't. And then he's like, well, look at me. I have a straw. I could suck out water, and I have very, very low power. How come space can't suck it out? And I was like, fuck.
Oh, so you didn't make fun of him. You made fun of himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't there to ridicule. I was just like, fuck, this is what they believe. So now you guys know.
That was his argument for why I have a straw. I can suck out water.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you're a bigger man than me to not go at him for that. Like that's.
But there's nothing. He's not evil. The guy's not trying
No,
to do
but
anything evil.
I'm
He
not
really
saying-
believes it.
He needs to be liberated from the prison of his own mind at this point. That guy's down the rabbit hole way worse than anyone he thinks is down the rabbit hole who believes the earth is a globe.
Dude, there are people out there that think that if you're gay, it's because of demons. There are people out there that think that if they kill a non-believing enemy and they kill themselves while doing it, they're going to go to heaven and get virgins.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people believing dumb shit out there.
People who believe that mustache works on
Yeah,
Poseidon.
you're not going to go out and yell at everyone. You know what I'm saying? You're going to try to understand them and see if you can find common ground.
Look, if they're not hurting anyone,
No, but I mean, you try to
That's
understand
fine.
to find common ground, and sometimes you could make them understand and go with logic.
oh, I'm way past that in my life cycle. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind anymore. Like,
He wants to come back on and talk about space because I go, well, what's space? Space isn't that what you think? It's fake. I was like, okay,
Space
now I
is
want to hear.
fake? Nah, I want to know about that too. If space is fake, I want to know.
The best was the moon. There's this silence because I'm like, no, go back to that. What the fuck? None of this in his mouth doesn't make sense. So what is the moon exactly? He's like, nobody knows. I don't think NASA even knows what the moon is. And I'm
Nobody
like,
knows, man.
Yeah, not even NASA knows. And I'm like, what? And then it's just silence for like
That's
5
amazing.
seconds. Silence for 5 seconds because he's like, and I'm like, all right,
I've lost
yeah,
this
that's-
argument.
Yeah.
I've lost it.
It wasn't an argument.
No, I know, but he's lost it anyways. What is the moon? Who knows, man?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I wish I could believe crazy shit like that. Even though there's this tiny part of me that's like, well, how do I know any of this?
Oh,
is
the best
real?
is I go, well, I'm Greek. I go, remember that I'm Greek because like this is a new invention, the globe Earth. I go, I'm Greek. We have Atlas. We calculate. He's like, how do you know, man? How do you know those statues of Atlas? He goes, I don't believe anything before the 1900s. And then I didn't say anything. I just smiled.
What statues of Atlas?
Like Atlas is holding a globe Earth.
I think those are modern recreations. In the
They're
original myth, he's holding up the Earth.
What do you mean he's holding
It's
up?
not like how we imagine it from later Roman, not
What?
Roman,
Yes,
from
on his back.
Renaissance stuff. He's holding up something. I don't know if it's actually a globe in the
It's a
ancient
globe.
ones.
It is.
It's a
I'm
globe.
gonna look into
Yeah.
it now. I think that might
It's a
be a
globe.
modern
We also
example.
calculated the circumference years ago, thousands of years ago.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I think Veron put the details in the chat recently.
Yeah. So it was just so when he said I don't believe anything before the 1900s, then I was like, okay, what do I say? Like dismiss this. So, but again, nice guy. Like not a bad guy. Not a bad
This
guy.
is what you're thinking of, right? These kind of statues?
These kind of statues, but not those are for your desk. But yeah, I mean, like our depiction of Atlas has always been that he's holding up a
But
globe
I
Earth.
think that comes from like post-Galileo times, most of these.
I don't know.
So, yeah, but when are these statues? Like, I don't think the ancient Greeks actually ever depicted him that way.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Because, like, yes, some ancient Greeks knew the earth was flat. Most didn't know and didn't care. It's not flat, sorry, a globe. My bad.
What are you trying to say, Phil?
Nothing, sorry. I got confused.
You got confused.
I got confused.
Oh, Poseidon, we got some shirts to send out today. What time are you leaving?
I have to leave right after this.
Yeah. What time are you
Yeah.
filming? 1?
12:30, so I have to rush there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I don't like your goddamn
I
attitude.
was supposed to. It was supposed to be noon, but I explained that I have the morning.
P.S.
show.
The statue of Atlas holding a globe. Yes, there were. They did, and we have historical descriptions of it. Yeah.
I mean, at least to Roman times I've found here. At least.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Sure. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. I know crazy. I know what I say.
argue it. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. No. So anyway, then
I
he's
was
like.
thinking of the Shazam version of Atlas, where Shazam becomes Atlas for a while.
But this is the thing about conspiracies, right? Because it's all the government is hiding it from you. This is the scary part about conspiracies. So there are actual conspiracies.
for sure.
There are weird shit that happens. But just because one thing is weird doesn't mean that everything on the planet is sketchy. Like the details surrounding how they kind of knew and pushed 9/11 to happen so they would have an excuse to go in the Middle East, that's a real conspiracy. People conspired to get that to happen. That should be looked into. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But instead of looking into that, people are like, oh, well, I heard that the Twin Towers weren't real. They were holograms.
That's pretty cool.
But that's just fucking, it's like,
Of
guys,
course it's insane.
God damn it. Just because part of it is, why don't you investigate the part that's sketchy but real to find out the truth? Why do you then create other shit that throws you off the case?
If you're looking for a conspiracy, you'll always find one. Because there's always something that isn't fully public or something that could be.
Yeah, oh,
deemed
9/11, me, I'm saying what's suspicious
No, I
is
don't mean
like
9/11. I just
yeah.
mean in general. I'm not using
It's
that.
kind of like
specific
if you're
example.
always looking for a problem, you're gonna find one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
You're looking
exactly
for a
what I just
problem.
said.
That's exactly what he said. You look for a problem.
I have a problem for every one of your solutions. That's what these conspiracy theorists, that's how they operate.
It's crazy that a lot of the actual conspiracies get dismissed and then the shitty ones maintain. Like, for example, JFK, that's a real fucking conspiracy. And it involves George Bush Sr. Like, it's crazy. It involves the CIA. There's crazy conspiracies there. And with evidence. And they're like, this seems sketch. And instead, they focus on the most random ass shit.
Let's go something a little bit more contemporary.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein's suicide.
There you go. That's fucking suspicious. Clearly, people conspired.
And people just stop talking about it.
People just stop talking about it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts, bro.
People
You know what's
conspired to have
crazy?
him
But
killed.
they
People
focus
wanted
on-
to know the truth. Netflix comes out with a documentary that kind of tells us what we all know already. Doesn't give us any ground or earth-shattering nothing. And everyone's like, okay, we're cool. We're going to move on from it. If it was on Netflix, it's common knowledge. It's not interesting anymore. It's hiding in plain sight. They give it to you.
No, but
and you placate
hold
the
on,
masses
hold
with
on,
it.
hold
It's
on.
genius.
No, but the Epstein documentary was shit. The one on Netflix?
Yeah, but
That wasn't good at all.
Most people, that's all they need.
No,
Oh,
but
yeah,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
No, but
opium.
they've had documentaries also about flat Earth and shit. No, shit like that. Other
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
stupid.
but this is different. This
That's what I'm
is
saying.
not the
They're
general
doing
population
they're doing
outraged.
documentaries on the stupid stuff, but not on the real shit. Like even the
Epstein-
Epstein one, they won't show because they don't want to fuck with. They had another documentary about Hillary at the time. They don't want to fuck with the Clintons too much. They don't want, so they don't reveal
In
the shit that
history-
we know that we have documents of.
10, 20 years from now, when we look back on this epoch, this era, whatever, 30 years from now, the Epstein suicide will be seen as like a black swan event where people saw a conspiracy where there was apparently none, and then all of a sudden really obvious shit happened.
Yeah.
That's what sent us down into this disgusting distrust spiral. Like what really
No, we've been
pushed us-
distrusting the government for years.
No, but not the general population. That's why
No, the general
people
pop-
don't believe in COVID anymore. That's why they think You
Oh,
understand
no,
what
no,
I'm trying to
I
get
don't think
at?
Epstein and COVID are connected.
I don't think they're connected directly, but I think once you think there's a conspiracy and all of a sudden it's proven, not beyond a shadow of a doubt, but proven that something sketch has happened, you start to it's exactly what you were saying a few minutes ago about how, you hate Poseidon.
Yeah, but it's because something sketch has happened, and then the news is telling you, they're showing you one thing, and it's kind of like the girl that with the stabbing now. They're showing you one thing, they're showing you that the girl's about to stab the other one, and what they're saying is, look at this peaceful girl getting shot. It's like, but I'm seeing two different things. Why, what the fuck? You're saying one thing, I'm seeing something else. What's happening here?
It's fucked.
So that's where the distrust comes from.
I was talking with Anna about that because she hadn't seen it and she watched it. She's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And at the same, we're like, there's no discussion to be had here. Like, basically, it's just a tragedy.
Let's
see if someone's to blame. Did he fuck up? That's all.
Because you know why it's a fucked up tragedy? Because we don't even know what the argument was about. And most likely, because they're kids, it was something benign and stupid.
Yeah, trivial.
And most people will look at it through a negative lens also. Some people will see it like,
it's very negative.
He killed a girl, which he did.
But he saved a girl.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think the hero we needed. The hero he deserves. That what you're saying?
Because what would have been different if he let her? Because the only other argument would have been if the other girl got stabbed first.
Yeah.
But then we could have had two dead girls.
I mean,
that too, or she could have stabbed her, and then she could have went for the cop. You never know.
I mean, the cop was not.
The cop was not in danger, bro. The cop had his gun. That guy was ready.
Yeah.
I
mean, his gun was out. She wasn't.
Yeah. The only person that was in danger was the other girl.
No.
Side note: completely different, completely random. Have you seen the trailer for Army of the Dead?
No.
Oh, wasn't
With
that
the fucking zombie tiger?
The one that they took out Chris D'Elia from and they replaced him with Tig Notaro? Yeah, that one.
No, I haven't seen the trailer.
Did they do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I like Tig Notaro. She amuses me. Okay. She really amuses me.
That's what she was going for.
Yeah. Have you seen that show she does where she doesn't know who people are?
No.
So she has like a fake late night show that I think it's College Humor that produces it. She apparently is a recluse. Like, she doesn't participate in pop culture at all, even though she's
I love that she has a show like that. Poseidon's trying to Google her. Poseidon legitimately doesn't know who she is.
I only know
Poseidon is countering.
I only know her because I watched Star Trek Discovery. That's how I discovered her. Onwards. She doesn't know who people are. So like they bring on, I can't remember anyone now, like really famous people from the 90s and 2000s. And she has to guess, like, okay, they bring on Sarah Michelle. No, what's her name? Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, I forgot her
What's
real
her
name.
Sarah Michelle.
No, Sarah Michelle Gellar is Buffy.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Okay.
So they bring her on and she now has to guess who she is. It's a funny premise. I just don't know if it's real. Like, does she really not know who these people are?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Poseidon, are you okay? What the fuck are you doing? Why are you crying?
My hand is hurting.
It's hurting?
Yeah, really badly.
What do you mean?
Here.
It's arthritis.
Maybe you had it leaned on the table wrong.
I don't know why. Anyways, no, it doesn't matter. Sorry,
ignore you. That's fine. Just don't die.
No, I'm not gonna die, bro. I'm massaging it. It hurts.
It's arthritis. Anyways, cue the music, Poseidon.
Oh, it's not
Friday.
It's that time of the year, isn't it?
Guys, head over to justmeatit.ca. The podcasts are brought to you by those homies. So justmeatit.ca, it's where you get high quality meats. These are all Quebec farmers. You can get ostrich, you can get elk, bison. The ostrich meat?
Did you try it?
Comedy is the promo code you're going to use for 10% off your order, all right? Links are in the description. Justmeatit.ca. You support local. Antibiotics? None of them. Performance enhancing drugs? None of them. Criminal charges? None of them. These are safe animals. They've never been involved in anything questionable. Stop laughing. These are good animals.
Only hate crimes.
Justmeatit.ca. Promo code comedy for 10% off. Links in the description. The man who left us early also brought us the news. George Chickity Transrizos. Links are in the description. Follow him. He's got 2 podcasts, the Backstage Podcast and Just Us Dads. Both good shows. Check them out. Subscribe, share, tell your friends. Phil Balabanos in front of me. This guy's got a podcast whenever he decides like doing a fucking podcast. Yeah. It's called Fill My Hole. And yes, he doesn't smoke. Wink, wink. If you watch this full episode, you know what I'm getting at. So Phil Balabanos' podcast, Fill My Hole, comes out on Sundays when he's in the mood. Also, he is a professional filmmaker. He can make a professional commercial for you. Link in the description. Hire him. He's got... what are you doing? You're not even on screen, dude. I'm doing plugs.
I'm switching between both of you.
So, hire him. Links are in the description if you want to legitimize... if you want to legitimize your business. In fact, one of the most famous commercials that you've seen on TV of a very big company was done by Phil. The Clinton Foundation, when they were going down to Haiti, it was his commercials that they were running. Phil made those commercials, and you know how good that turned out for the Haitians. Phil Balabanos, balabanos.com. There's also Poseidon. The Poseidon 69 on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/Pantelis to catch his hit shows, Annabelle Lebet and In Bed with Poseidon. Both those shows are only available on video on the Patreon, but they're available a week delayed in audio format wherever you get your podcasts. Pantelis on PantelisComedy.com is where you're gonna go to get all the links for the Patreon, the 2-drink minimum, the podcast. It's the easiest way to get there.
Everything else you produce.
Yeah, everything I produce, which is a shitload of stuff. So Patreon.com/Pantelis, PantelisComedy.com to get all that stuff. The Poseidon69, The Poseidon69 on Instagram and Twitter, and Twitch.tv/The Poseidon69 for him playing video games. God damn it, we got a lot of stuff. I remember all of them.
I think you said a bunch of stuff twice, but
I did.
Balabano's
I gotta push people to go. Links are in the description. Don't even listen to me. Look at the links.
Say goodbye.
Links are in the description. Just get them from there. Thank y'all for watching and go fuck yourselves.
Guten Morgen.